What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us. Carrie will be a little bit late. So we're going to add her as the show comes on. What's happening, y'all? I got my friends. I got Molly, Crash Out Q. It was Crash Out Q. Now it's just Q.
Normal Q.
Gemini to Gemini. My dog Slimmy. What's happening, y'all? How y'all feel?
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Hey everybody.
It's been a rough weekend.
Why is it so rough, Q?
I had some people. It's not funny actually. Like I didn't think that I would feel anything, but like one of my friends in like the motorcycle community, he like died racing this weekend,
Really?
and like
Don't say that shit out loud because then people gonna be hearing this in my circle. Like, you gotta sell your motorcycle.
oh my bad.
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
But like day to day, like I'm fine. But like when I'm chilling at home, like at nighttime, it's kind of rough.
I feel you.
Yeah, man. That's
I don't
sad.
even want to ask what
I'm
happened.
sorry to hear that.
Condolences, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that's horrible, man.
Man, that's crazy. Let me add my girl Carrie. What up, Carrie?
Hey y'all, my apologies. How's
What's
everybody?
poppin', Carrie?
We just thankful to have had
Hey
you
Carrie.
on Friday.
You're funny.
What up to the chat? What up to the people in the chat? We appreciate you. It's just life is good. I had a birthday over the weekend. Slimmy had a birthday last week also. I was telling the people that I didn't do much except for pretty much work in the studio.
Big Aries vibes.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted. Which is really interesting because backstage we was kind of having this organic conversation, and I don't want to name any names, but no, I mean it was a conversation that kind of jumped off, and it was talking about the different women content creators and stuff like that, and we were saying that kind of having a conversation that they, you know, once they get into a space, they kind of, or once they get in with a man or whatever, or they post sporadically, or they'll disappear and then they'll come back and say, well, okay, well, I'm ready to reboot and stuff. And I was saying that women are more likely to fall off from a content creator perspective. But now when I'm thinking about it, I think that women are more likely to fall off in general just because they women. I think that the nature of women is kind of to just go back into like their femininity, or you know, just once they get a man and they don't care about anything else, and then once that man leaves, then all of a sudden they want to show back up. What do y'all think about that? Kim, you were saying something about that.
Yeah, I was saying, we do that. All women know that your friends just kind of disappear when they end up in relationships. And my friends and I have had this conversation where, like, if a guy plays basketball on Tuesdays at 2:00, he's going to do that forever and ever, amen. But if a woman gets into a relationship with that guy, whatever she was doing Tuesday at 2:00, she's no longer doing. She's just, all into her relationship. But I think that's just the nature of us, which is why I don't feel like we should work. But that's a whole nother.
Put her ass by Molly.
No, but seriously, I just don't think that we have like the bandwidth to juggle it all. And I think that our family, be it your man, your kids, whatever, becomes your priority, as they should. And everything else just kind of falls by the wayside.
Do you agree with that, Molly?
Yeah, I definitely agree. We will get a one-track mind. Like a lot of we will prioritize our relationships. We all have a friend who will disappear, like Kim said, when they get a new boyfriend or something like that. So
Do
it's
y'all
just one
hold
of
that
those
against
things.
them though?
If you're mature, you wouldn't. It's kind of just like if you're
It's hard
mature,
not to
no. But if you're
hold it
young,
against
probably
them when you
so.
know. Right, but when you know that man is no good and she like disappears and she does that like in and out of that relationship, that's when you start being like, okay, really?
Carrie,
I
I
just
seen
don't
you
like,
laughing too.
yeah, hear them complain about the same person. But
Carrie, I seen you laughing too. Is that true? Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. I am that girl.
So you'll disappear. Yeah, we know you'll disappear.
Yeah, I am definitely that girl. I was that girl when I was before married. I'm that girl now. Like, yeah, I definitely. It's like, where's Carrie? Yeah.
So y'all prefer overall, y'all believe that women prefer to be in relationships versus be in like business or any of that type of stuff. Because if you listen to a lot of these women on social media and in content creation today, you would believe that women prefer to have these individualistic lives and want to just work and all of this stuff. But what
Internet
y'all
shit.
basically are telling me is that y'all will drop everything to be in the right relationship.
To a certain extent. And I think a lot of that talk about when, people are willing to prioritize other things over their relationships, it's coming from a place of hurt and pain. I don't think that that's a woman's nature, outside of being hurt somewhere.
Well, or from not having that option on the table. So that's why I said I think that a lot of women who put that out there, like, I don't care, I'm independent, which, I get it. I definitely think that a lot of them they would
What do you mean
turn.
by I don't not having that option on the table? What does that mean?
Well, in addition to what Kim said, if a woman does not have a man as an option or one that she would want to do that with, then I think it's easier to have a position of I need my own time. I'm independent. I'm not going to stop everything for some man. Like, it's easy to say all of that when there's no man there that you would want to do that for. I think.
Facts.
Do you agree with him, Q?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, yes. I can't say no more.
Slimmy, what do you think about that?
I think women want to be in relationships. Honestly, they want to be booed up. They want to be loved on. Kicking it at brunch with the single ladies. That ain't always, everybody's cup of tea. It's good for a certain period of time, but after a while, it get tired. They want to be with a man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, shit, it's just like a man go. He want to be with a woman too, but he's just not gonna give up all, everything that he loves.
Yeah, I don't think that men should do that.
That's what different for dudes though.
Yeah, I don't think that men should do that. I don't think that men should be trying to give up. And when I say give up, I'm talking about like what Kim was saying. She said a guy will do this, forever, and he'll get into a routine or whatever of doing that. I don't think that men should give that up because, and this kind of leads into the next question that I have for you guys, is I think it's difficult for men to balance though. Women can give everything up and that'll be that. But I also think that a lot of times women then become, I don't know if you want to say needy, because she is now requiring for him to spend, outside of Molly, but she then sometimes requires for him to spend more of his time trying to balance between work and being home and all of that stuff. Me personally, I'm the type of person like on my birthday from 6 a.m. till about 6 p.m. I was in the studio. And I was having a good old time. Like I love working. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, I always have to hit that switch, like, okay, well, I know I gotta do dinner at 7. So let me go, make sure go get in the shower, get fresh. And then, I gotta go do dinner. So I wind up going to do dinner or whatever like that. And then you just, you kind of figure it out. But for me, I don't have balance. I just kind of expect for the girl to be there when she's there when I'm done doing whatever it is that or I don't trip. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, go have fun. I'll see you when I see you. So, I don't know if men that the women then get with that can afford for them to be able to live that type of life also have the ability to balance as much as they want to, because I don't know any guys personally that make a lot of money that work 40 hours a week.
Right. I agree.
I play video games 40 hours a week.
That's a lot of fucking video games, bro. That is a lot of gaming.
If you looked at my Players Lounge account, you'd be happy for me.
That is a lot of gaming. That is a whole lot of gaming, bro. I couldn't do it. I just can't see it. I can't see myself.
I take off my regular job and play video games.
No, you don't, bro.
Yes,
I
he
make
does.
more money.
He really does.
I do.
Does he really, Kim?
I promise you, he really does.
Oh my god!
And he does it like almost every day. He really does.
We're gonna have
But
to
that means he's making money doing something he enjoys doing.
We're gonna have to have an intervention.
The only thing about it is like it's gambling. So it's like
Is what?
Like technically it's gambling, so it's kind of bad, but I win more than I lose.
We're gonna have to have an intervention. I don't know about that one, big dog.
It's not sustainable, and I don't see myself doing it as like a 45-year-old man. But for right now, it's I'm running up the money.
I thought you said you were gaming. You're gambling.
He's
gambling.
He's gambling gaming.
It's both.
Like I'm like $1,500 that I'm gonna beat you. Then we send it to Players Lounge. We do our little thing.
See?
And then he sit up cussing at the TV all day.
At least he get paid. I do that shit for fun.
No, I can't do it, dog. I gotta get that money. It's for me. It has to go into something long term. It has to go into something long term. I think it's easier to see. Y'all single?
No, nigga, I don't lose money, bitch. I probably make more money than you on a video game than your normal ass job.
But y'all are like Slimmy. See, Slimmy, that's the thing. I think that you would have to give up a little bit of that freedom to do what you want to do if you.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't be at a game if I was in a relationship where I had to cut that shit down to like 10 hours. I had to shave like 5 hours of gaming off.
But are you willing to do that? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't got a game.
I didn't do that. Like when I lived with Ava's mother, I didn't play video games. I like stopped.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think guys want to give up their lifestyle for the sacrifice of being with a woman.
The only thing that I won't give up for a woman is I won't give up my motorcycle stuff for a chick.
I think
I'm not gonna stop skating. That's what.
I mean, but those are cool little hobbies. Like that's not. I don't think that that's something that you should have to give up. Like, yeah, you supposed to still do stuff. I believe, but I don't think that they want us to do 40 hours of it additional to whatever it is that we do for a living to make money. That's my thing. I think.
Well, I don't think it would be okay if I wasn't making money. I don't think that would be okay at all.
I don't think that women give a fuck whether you're making money doing it. I think that at some point women be like, "That's nice, but
what about me?"
Yep. I think that once a woman is with you for so long, they get spoiled and they don't even take that into consideration no more, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think it kind of depends, and I mean,
I'm like wait. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
Well, it's just like we were saying, before we went live, how the women give everything up, and then when this man doesn't, she's now resentful. That she's given up everything, and she's really got nothing else to do but pour into him, and he's not there for her to pour into. So I think
is that
a lot
is
of
that why y'all have gay best friends?
Is that why we what?
Have gay best friends?
Probably. I mean, I don't have those kind of requirements
No,
or
not you
expectations.
specifically. I'm just saying like women in general.
Probably. I mean, but gay men can be kind of fun.
Oh.
Wow, that's concerning.
Fun how?
They're
I'm just
funny.
saying, like they say.
Nah, funny, fun is what she said, Molly.
No, I know, but they are
That's what I mean.
entertaining.
Right.
What do you mean? What do they do?
Okay. This is why.
Because they just like a manly girl. It's just
Right.
funny. They over exaggerate everything we do. It's funny, and it's a man doing it. It's just funny.
It's a
Look
female
at Slimmy.
It's
Slimmy is
sad, but it's
confused.
funny because it's like they're so extra. Like most
You're
women don't even do
making
all
fun
that.
of them. They're not your friends. You're making fun of
I'm
them.
not making fun of it.
No.
I don't have any gay male friends. But shout out to the gay guys.
Ugh.
That's not down low.
Girl.
So why don't y'all just okay? I'm gonna get into that because the next subject that I'm talking about actually speaks to that a little bit, but I still don't understand it. Like, don't they gotta work?
What, the gay people?
guys?
Yeah.
Well, I work with a lot of gay guys, so there's that.
Yeah, all the flight attendants, like there's like 3 like straight male flight attendants.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been on a flight where the guy was straight.
Oh, there's a lot of them, and they
Clap cheeks.
Yeah, well, they clean
They
up.
get
I could imagine
right.
they clean up, absolutely, because it's such a shortage probably of regular dudes.
Yep,
I would imagine that they probably clean up, but
they do.
every time that I get on a plane, hello.
Waving their hand with a limp and shit.
Always giving compliments and shit. I like that. I like what you got going on there.
What's wrong with
Definitely different. I'll be like,
Oh man.
thank you.
I'm trying to put some bass in your voice. Just
Bass that motherfucker all the way out.
Excuse me. Yes. What the fuck, man? Could you please put your laptop away? We're landing. What the fuck is going on?
You're being extra right now, bro. That's so extra.
That's how they are. That's how they be. What the fuck? I done took 1 billion flights. Every fucking time it's the same. I'm like, can't get no regular people up in there?
what's it, regular people?
Regular. Yeah.
Why don't regular guys apply for like those type of jobs?
They do, but I think that there's such a stigma attached to it that a lot of them, a lot of heterosexual males would think of it as like a gay job. But the ones
I mean, nursing used to be a job that guys used to think about was just for women, but that shit changed.
Especially travel nursing. Them niggas clean up too.
They do.
I mean, how is it not a masculine job? You just on a plane.
I mean, I agree, but I guess because it started out as a female only profession, you know, it's always going to be, you know, predominantly female. And so I think that there's any space where there's going to be a majority of women working, men are going to tend to think that it's a gay job.
Facts.
Yo. But yeah, as far as the content creators go, I think that one of the reasons why women are not as successful as men in the content creation space is just because they just fucking fall off. Like, I don't think
if they're not attractive, then they're generally not interesting. And then women generally aren't funny either. Which is why y'all like the gay guys, because they're women, but they're funny.
What is going on?
I don't think women. I don't know that I've ever met a chick that I haven't met.
Well, women comedians aren't funny.
They're not fucking funny. Like, women aren't funny. Like, y'all gonna call me gay, but I rather hang out with my bros because they're fucking funny, not fucking women.
No, I like hanging out with women because
they're not funny. Like, if I'm hanging out with a woman, like, But
See,
besides,
Really, Quentin?
Quinn cannot balance. Quinn can't balance.
I can balance.
Quentin laughs at me all the time. I don't know what he's talking about.
I laugh at
Wait.
you or with
You know what I'm talking about.
I
See, there's no fucking balance.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm being extra, but no, I just don't. I don't think women are funny.
He does say that all the time, though. But I know he thinks I'm funny.
I think that they're funny in person, depending on the person that they're around. I don't think that they're like funny on stage and shit. Like,
They're not funny at all.
you don't think so? Like,
Not I like I try to think in my life if I ever been around like a funny chick. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to be around people that are just fun to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in my opinion, like people that just like to enjoy life are more fun to be around.
Women are fun to be. That doesn't mean they're funny though. That's like two different things. You can be funny like women. Yeah, women are fun to be around, but they're still not funny.
Maybe men are funnier because that's kind of like y'all currency a little bit. Like we don't have to be funny. It helps. Like if a guy's ugly, but if he's funny,
Yep, it's a
girls are gonna
wrap.
like him.
That's what like I think I'm like an average dude, but I'm kind of funny.
You are funny.
I mean, most guys are.
And then it gives me the head up on these other niggas.
I mean, most guys are average dudes, though.
Oh, I do know a funny girl. My fucking Lindsay, my fucking best friend Michael's wife, is fucking hilarious. And he just texted me and he said, "Fuck you."
Oh, I know some really, really, really funny women.
Yeah, I don't think they should take the stage though.
I know some really funny women, but they single.
Damn.
Why do you think that there's a correlation?
I think so.
They be roasting them dudes. Them
I don't
dudes
know
can
what
handle
it is, but both of the funny
is
women that I know.
Is Rita funny?
Rita is a fun person to be around.
I said funny.
like Rita, no, she doesn't like tell jokes, but she likes to like laugh and be around other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not there she don't make people laugh, but she's just like fun to be around.
Why you can't just say no?
I mean, yeah, that's what I said. I said no. And then the extra context is like, I don't know, bro. It's hard to explain, but it's just like, I think
I hang around Kim all the time and she's not funny.
I'm gonna hold my tongue and say something real ugly later.
like me and Kim, she's like Kim is intelligent and smart. They're two different.
That's what I was gonna say.
Not funny though. Is she funny?
For Quentin, he thinks to be funny, you have to be smart, and I think he thinks that most women are not smart.
That's not true.
So,
that's what you say.
I'm so glad that you're a part of the show because we get to get the real Quentin story. And basically, you're saying that Quentin is misogynistic. Great.
I did not use those words.
You don't have to use them. I said it for you. You said that Quentin is misogynistic and he don't think that women are funny because they stupid.
To be fair, he does say that he doesn't think most people are smart. So there's that.
Anything else you want to say about the ladies?
Did he?
That's on you, Kimmy.
Nah, but I do think that women fall off because they just don't have the desire. I'm gonna move over to the next subject. I'm gonna read super chat shortly. I don't think that women have the ability to really grind the same way that men do, and that's why it's easier. First of all, I just don't think that they built to grind the way that we do. And then secondly, that's kind of why I think that it's stupid for all of this advocating for equal work. You know what I'm saying? Like equal in the workplace and all of that shit, because it's just never going to be equal. I'm willing to work until I die. I don't think that women are looking to work until they die.
Nope. I'm not looking to work till the end of the shift.
See what I'm saying? Women be looking at the clock like, man, I can't wait to get the hell up out of here. And for me, I'm like, man, I'm willing to sleep in the studio. I'm willing to do all of that shit. And I just don't think that women are the same in that way. And I think that that's cool. I don't think that y'all supposed to be the same in that way.
Well,
Right.
if
You know
they're
what?
not,
But
they
I don't have.
they need a nigga to supplement their shit.
Well, whatever. But I don't have a problem cleaning my house all day either. Like I could spend instead of those 8 hours or 12 hours or
That's fucking
whatever
weird.
working somewhere outside of the house. I don't mind spending that like making sure my house is spotless. Like I'm cleaning baseboards and doorknobs and stuff. Like
Me too.
And
It can
y'all
I
like
can
that?
easily spend about
that's
8
my
to 12
preference.
hours cleaning.
Right.
Straight men may never have a season, any other season.
Yeah. And I'm about to play this
I feel like
video
that's
right here.
I feel like that's probably a good quality to have that a woman likes to
I'm about to
clean.
play this video right here too.
That's good.
No, it's a lot of women that's fucking dirty as hell, bro.
I agree.
Real talk. Like a lot of women, honestly, they don't even know how to clean properly. I would say that it's a lot of women that don't even know how to clean their ass properly, bro.
Stop.
Listen, man. If we
No,
want
women
something-
be women be taking care of themselves.
No, they
especially
don't.
black
I
women.
think you're right about that. I believe that black women are much more hygiene focused
than white women and everybody else.
Oh,
I'll be
100%.
No, listen, because I'll be touching on a white woman's back and I'll be feeling stuff rolling up on her skin. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
No, 100%. I believe
Touch a
that
black girl, that should be like silky smooth and buttery.
100%. I believe that black women are, and of course, I don't think that anybody is a monolith, but I 100% that black women got white women beat 10 times out of 10 when it comes to hygiene.
Yeah,
Overall,
white women be
100%.
nasty as fuck.
Nasty as hell.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Nasty as hell, bro. And that's one of the things that I be trying to understand as a part of the dynamics. I'll be like, hey man, how often she take a shower? They good for fucking going outside in their pajamas. It's dog. No, serious, man. Let's just be real. Dog, it's a lot of white women that be trifling. They be looking pretty. They hair don't be washed. That shit stank if you get too close to them. I'm being for real, man. White women, they have hygiene problems overall. They don't know how to clean properly, bro. I'll say what I said. It is what it is. So
my right brethren that's watching the show that said we are way off about the white people.
No, we not. No, we not.
I'll say this.
Molly, how do you feel about this, Molly?
I'll just say there are some overall, I think there are some differences.
Okay.
Hygiene wise, how we tend to bathe. Some of them won't. They'll use their hand or something like that.
There you go.
My friend
And again, y'all, listen to all of my snow bunnies in the chat. Don't get offended because we hold everybody accountable. And don't tell me you ain't got to go by what you think you do. Listen, I don't think that everybody falls in the same category. I don't think anybody is a monolith. So this is not to you specifically, but overall, I believe that a lot, when you compare the two, I don't think that white women know how to clean as well.
Is this a racist conversation?
This is a cultural conversation. Culturally, I don't think that they clean as well. And they are quick to admit that they like to just let the suds run through their ass, or they don't wash their fucking feet. You know what I'm saying? They don't clean their legs as much. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about?
I did learn once that some of our melanin deficient sisters think that if their kids go swimming, that counts as a bath.
That's crazy.
Stop.
I promised you.
That's crazy.
I don't believe that.
I will show you in black and white. I promise you. It was in a group I was in, and they were talking about it, and they were like, oh, well, how often do you bathe your kids? And, that came up, and it was just like, wait, what? That's the reason they need a bath. Like, that's not the bath.
We about to deep dive. I got some subjects for y'all ass tonight. Give me a second. Let me read some of these super chats. MP says, my condolences, Q. One of my former sparring partners passed away on a motorcycle. See, y'all trying to get me in trouble. That's all y'all trying to do.
Like, I want to sell, like, when I heard about that, like, I want to sell my bike. And I ain't never felt like selling my bike. Sell your bike.
Was he going at a high speed? What happened?
think he was on the racetrack.
See, that shit is different than a person casually riding.
I agree.
Much, much different. Shout out to MP. Abe the Hunter says Slimmy sounds like a pimp called Pimp. Pimp called Bussum. Say your B chose me. Shout out to you, Abe. Slimmy sounds like a pimp called Bussum. Okay, I got you. Joshua says Slimmy sound like Nas. Did you lose your voice, bro? Slimmy's voice is out. It's his birthday. Happy tax day, said Christopher Spears. I don't like that shit. Jason Sharp says Carrie is funny as F.
No, she's not.
Y'all just like Carrie.
Carrie is sweet. She's not funny.
Y'all just like her. Y'all
at
think
all.
Sweet. If Carrie looked like a booger wolf, y'all wouldn't be saying the same shit. Ivy League says the last woman I kicked it with was funny. Laughed me right out of my drawers.
That's funny.
Brandon Beecham says, shout out to Q for bringing me on the show last night. It was fire. Looking forward to the stories from I Choose You tour. Oh, that's gonna be great. Carrie not gonna like it, but we're gonna get there. Not too much on my snow bunnies. AR Smith says this hygiene conversation is depressing. Nobody likes to talk about hygiene. When I start holding men accountable for the fact that they don't clean their ass the right way.
Well, I don't know. I can say, like, I don't know that I've been to a dirty white woman's house. Like, of course, they're usually older and their houses are immaculate, but
I don't think it's all white women. J Mills says a lot of white culture don't wash their hands after using. Oh, that's a fact.
That's humans. It's not just white people.
White men are good for if they see you, then they'll just rinse their hands a little bit. They don't even put no fucking soap on it. White people don't wash with a white cloth. Shout out to Chris.
So racist. Like,
that's not racist. That's what I see. Flan Sells Car says, Anton, I have to disagree. Which race has the highest case of STDs? The white one I was around is very. What do cleanliness got to do with whether or not you get an STD?
Them is white people in that picture.
that's two different conversations. Anyways, make sure I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. I'm gonna play this really quickly because I want to get into this. So this was a clip that is kind of going viral, and I want to get y'all opinion on it. So let me share my screen really quickly. Share screen. All right, I got it. I want to get y'all opinion on this because this is something that we kind of broached in this previous conversation, and this is what they had to say.
And may never have a season, any other season.
Can't hear it
now. Who is so interested?
You can't hear it.
Like, it's really faint.
But friend,
straight man.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get it. I might be able to get it. Hold on, I might be able to get it on something else. Give me a second.
What were you about to say, Carrie?
Nothing.
Well, while we wait, I'm gonna talk about you, Anton, because you said it's still Slimmy's birthday, but I can't celebrate for a month.
Well, Slimmy's birthday was just last week.
That's still more than just the day. What difference does it make if it's a week or a month?
Well, we was just talking about why Slimmy's voice was missing. All right, I got y'all. Hold on 1 second. I got you.
Her lips are rotund.
All right, y'all ready? Here we go.
And may never have a season, any other season.
I have a friend right now who is so interested in exploring new things sexually in their relationship, and they are terrified of sharing it with their wife. And the reason being is because, unfortunately, she's made comments of what she thinks a man should be.
Yes.
And he's internalized it. And those comments were flippant, and it's not what she thinks because I've talked to her. That's not her point of view. But because he's heard it, he's afraid to go there. And I'm trying to get him to realize that he is terrified. And it is so interesting to see this man terrified because I've never seen this man afraid in his life. But to tell his wife that he wants something new, he's afraid. The woman he sleeps with next to every night that he has 2 kids with, he's afraid to tell her something new. And that scares me for straight men. It makes me sad for them too.
So essentially what they are saying is that
If an alien landed right,
straight men, hold on, let me remove that. They're basically saying that, and the reason that I'm adding this as a part of the conversation is not just because it's going viral, but because of the thing that y'all had said previously about how straight men are more fun to be around and they basically like girls in a man's body and all of this stuff. In this podcast, which I think her name was Shan Booty, and I don't know what the other guy's name is, But in that podcast, they're basically saying straight men are basically going to miss their season because they can't explore or be forthcoming with the fact that, or with the idea that they're interested in exploring other things sexually, but they can't communicate that with the woman that they with.
But what are they exploring exactly?
I think that guy that was talking is sassy. All right.
Then they shouldn't be able to explore. What the fuck?
His friend is trying to groom him.
So you want to?
What's
He
the
wants to
exploration?
explore. You want to explore being gay after you get married? Is that the simple?
Yeah, like what does he want to try?
I don't know any more than what that clip said.
Okay, so it's probably like he probably wants to try butt stuff.
The straight men be friends with gay men because it's
Can they
these
be?
the kind of conversations they have like that.
Nope. I got a gay dude that I play. We play pool together, and we don't talk about nothing but pool.
I don't
Actually,
know.
I'm not gonna lie. I asked my gay homie how he did his daughter's hair.
I don't know. Outside of like the job, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, where you just interact with somebody professional, or you just know of a person because you're a content creator, and maybe y'all be in the same like restaurant or something, y'all run into each other. I don't have gay friends, like gay male friends.
Well, I wouldn't say he's like a friend. We just be playing pool on the game. So an associate,
so it's like virtual pool.
Like associate. Like I know him. I used to work with him. It's like virtual pool. That's it. Besides that, we don't really fuck around.
But even that, like for me, it's like I don't have nothing to talk about with you after work.
And that's because black people are homophobic. Yes, it's a fucking word, Slimmy.
You think so?
Yes, y'all niggas.
Y'all. You just said you said this man was your gay friend. Then, well, now he's not really your friend.
Well, he's not my friend because my definition of a friend is not what me and him do. It's an associate. I don't just call everybody my friend because I talk to them.
I don't think that it has anything with being homophobic. I think that
that shit make y'all uncomfortable, nigga. Niggas can't eat a banana without fucking having a nigga tell them that.
It's unnatural though, Quentin. That's all. It's just unnatural. It's disgusting. And why do we have to be okay with something that's clearly unnatural? The fact that we're still having these kind of conversations.
But that's not the. So if you had a dude and he was your friend all your life, 20-year friendship, and then he was like he's gay, then since it's unnatural, he's just not your friend anymore.
I would look at him differently. I would
look
at him differently.
If I
don't
find
look
out
at a gay man the way I look at a straight man. You lose a little bit of respect as far as how I will look at you as a man. But that's just
you're
me.
not really a man anymore. You're like a Betty boy.
I can't hang out with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to disrespect you. I think that I respect your humanity. I respect your choice. But what do we have to hang out about now?
Do you feel like you can't have anything in common?
What do we have in common?
It could be everything outside of sexuality.
Outside of women.
Let me listen. The
Like
majority of what
we could be like full ass niggas. I just like niggas. Like
the majority of what men talk about. I'm just going to be absolutely transparent.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, it always come back to hoes or women.
Well, according to you, all women are hoes. So whatever.
Whatever y'all frame it as. At some point, it come back to, hey fam, you see her over there? Somehow, some way, it's always gonna come back to women. I mean, you know, you have other conversations, but eventually it's you know what I'm saying, what's happening? Like, or what you did with, oh man, so dog, she called you. Like it's somehow, some way, it's always gonna come back to that. So what if he talk about, yeah, you know, because my boyfriend, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
That's like you got tap out, nigga, say we can't be homies no more.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you talk about? Like, if we let's say we bring our girls, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Molly said it best, it's unnatural. We don't have to dig deep in the gayness.
No, that's deep. No, you said that we were homophobic. So my biggest thing is if I have to try to adjust and can't just naturally be myself, that's a problem for me. And I don't want to do that around people that I'm cool with. I don't want to have to adjust for you. I just want to be me.
And you feel like you can't be you because he can't contribute to the conversation of
I feel like it's
women's
difficult for me to
sexuality.
have to make you comfortable with the fact that I'm gonna say the shit that I'm gonna say.
But what makes you think that's going to make him uncomfortable?
Because I like to talk about sassy people.
Well, there's that.
Somebody might send me a reaction video like the one I just played, and I'm gonna be like, that shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. Now, here's the difference. People that do things, in my opinion, people that do things that are unnatural are more offended than people that hear you, disagree with you, and just don't give a fuck. I could say, for example, I think all women are hoes. Y'all gonna laugh and be like, haha, Anton is just crazy. People that do stuff unnatural, they are easily offended. And that's the difference. It's like they'll try to force you into making you see it their way and making sure that you address like you don't hear regular people say shit like dress me by my pronouns. That shit come from people that's trying to be something that's not. That don't come from regular people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to switch up or none of that shit. Like I'm just gonna be me. Most of the people understand Anton is just crazy or whatever, or they'll make the adjustment and then they'll just say, you know what, I don't fuck with that nigga. And I'm cool with that too, because I ain't trying to be hanging out with everybody. But I don't know any straight men that hang with gay men, because at some point that man has to in some way be gay. In my mind. Like if you are regularly hanging with a gay man, that's why when I played that clip, and I was thinking to myself, like, why is his homie expressing to him that he wants to talk, that he wants to explore more of his sexuality? What the fuck is he talking to with you about it for?
Because he gay.
That's some
Because
weird shit.
Because he
they on the
gay.
same frequency.
Yeah, he gay. He gay. He don't want to. He just don't want to be outed as one.
And then I'm
But
sorry, like Quentin, I know you say like why is it a stigma in the black community, but I think it was taught by white people. That I don't think we are naturally, we have a more spiritual foundation, and I think we follow a lot of white people. We do what they do. This is no, I'm not saying all white people are gay, but I think it was taught to us, put on us by white folks. It's not naturally something we are taught. Like I
Yeah,
knew
I agree.
early growing up, don't play that.
I don't even
You'll
think it's
see a
as
white
much
man
of
wear a dress and be happy, but over
it's,
in
I
our
don't think
family,
that it's
no.
as much of a problem for people with women, unless a woman is super butch. I don't think that it's as much of a problem with guys, because a guy always think, yeah, you know what, she just ain't had the right nigga. I'll, change the shit out of her. Like that's just a natural thing. I don't think it's women that see a gay guy and say, you know what, I can change him. I don't. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I
All
don't
these
think
women in
women.
Atlanta, I don't
I don't
know.
think generally women want to change. Yeah, I don't think that's the thing. Is it?
If they don't want to change men, women want to change men for
No, I'm
sure.
talking about
No.
they
For
don't want to. I
sure.
don't want to. They don't want to
Hey,
make
like,
them. They don't want to make them straight if they're gay. Is what I'm.
but I think that's more of a domination kind of thing, and I don't think women just naturally want to dominate in that way.
Actually, I'll run that back. I think if they think the dude's attractive enough, they might think they got some stuff.
No, because I think that a lot of women are more scared of catching something because they think that the guy is doing. If a guy cheat with a girl, that's some shit that you got to figure out. If a guy cheat with a guy, that's some shit that you gotta. That's some shit. Carrie cracking up. Am I off? I think that a woman can get over a dude. Okay, yeah, you fucked her, whatever. So we'll figure that shit out. If he say that he fucked it, come on, man.
Oh yeah, we're done here. Like,
See what I'm
I
saying?
wish you all the best.
That's just too greedy. Like you want both. Mm-mm.
So to finish off this conversation, to bring it back, do you think that a guy, and in that video, because he was saying, there's a lot of red flags in that video, in my opinion. I think that you can't be talking to no other dude that's gay, that's your friend, about your sexuality. If the guy goes to the woman and says, a supposedly straight man goes to his girl and say, yo, I need to explore my sexuality. How would y'all take that as women?
That's like, I don't even know why why is this a subject?
Because it is a video that is going viral on the internet.
Like, I can't believe this nigga said this shit out loud.
Yeah. Exploring your sexuality.
What
Would
does
tell
that
me
mean?
With a woman
you want
that
to go be with someone else who is not the opposite sex. You want to go
So
be with a
by
man.
default, y'all automatically would assume that is what he's saying to you.
Well, I asked up front, and you said
I would think he was gay.
Well, that's
Right.
what
I would be like,
think,
you mean you want to go be with a man?
that's what
Like,
I think is being communicated because of the person that's saying it and how it was expressed on the video. But my point is that automatic grounds for leaving a situation for a woman?
for sure.
If he says he wants to be with a man, absolutely.
For me, yeah.
I didn't say that. I said if he wanted to. If he said he
Well,
wanted.
what else would you
Well-
want to explore with your sexuality
And
that you
that's
can't
why
say
I
to
would
your
need to-
woman?
Right.
maybe you want to
like
explore
every-
butt stuff, like, because that's a question. Like, is butt stuff gay if it's done by a woman?
The only purpose of sex is procreation. So yes, it's gay. If it's not meant
It's
for
not the
procreation,
only
we
purpose
really.
of sex.
I don't
Stop,
know about that, Molly.
nigga. Some niggas just trying to
But
get a little.
I'm just saying the whole point is for sperm to fertilize
But
an egg.
even-
Why would you do anything with a
There
booty
is
hole?
no
There's
better.
nothing.
There is no
You
better
can't say that. That's
in the moment feeling for a man. I don't think that women. It has to be impossible, and it's funny because neither one of us will ever know. I don't think that there's ever a woman's orgasm is even remotely as it feels better than a guy.
yes, it does. Women can have like fucking 5-minute orgasm and aftershocks, nigga.
Right.
They be having orgasm, nigga. 10 minutes later, nigga, hanging out in the kitchen. Like,
Dog.
fuck, what you mean? Fuck you,
Dog,
Molly.
do you know how?
I mean, there's no one ever know.
In that moment, you are completely disarmed as a man. I am incapacitated.
Women's are 10 times better, and there's like 20 different women orgasms, bro.
Nigga, you can say whatever the fuck you want. The
I'm
one
gonna say this is a dead
The one-
conversation because there's
because
so
one
many
gotta be better than
Right.
all 20 of them. Because
Nigga, we get a good 5 seconds, nigga, and it's a wrap.
nah, that's not true.
Yes, it is, nigga. It's over. Nigga.
That's not fucking true. Dog.
I think we're just
I'm completely
hypersexualized.
incapacitated. That's why, like, I have to. You could kill me in that moment, and I wouldn't even care. You could literally
How does one care if you kill me?
Just
Like,
die doing
I would just
That
be
doesn't
like,
even work.
Well, you could
I
be killed
don't
in
know
your
what's
sleep
going on
too.
at that moment.
She could kill you in your sleep too. So
My point is that
Yeah,
it
but then
feels
he
so
wouldn't be
great
coming
that
and
you
going
don't
at the same
understand
time.
what life is like until you can't snap back into it.
well, I think that even if a guy wanted to have something happen with his behind, from the woman, I don't think that it would be so extreme to the point where you sit down and say that you want to explore your sexuality. Like the wording doesn't scream like let's get freakier. It screams
Right.
I want to go try some things with a guy. That's what it screams to me.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too. I ain't gonna.
Yeah,
cap.
I don't like this. I think this is dumb. I think we need to move along.
Men have to slow down watching
You know, it's so
porn.
funny because Quentin is the one that called us homophobic, but now this nigga.
Right. Let's move on.
I think the sentiment is like gay is gay, and we don't fuck with it. Keep it pushing.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, porn is it's banned in Oklahoma. Molly, so shut up.
Oh, they got y'all too.
Yeah,
Well,
they
let me
got it.
read some of the super chats. And then we can flip the subject. Shout out to Antoine Walker, says Tom Segura and his wife has a video making fun of black people using washcloths, claiming it's a slave thing. Washcloths is a slave thing?
I'm okay with that. You can call it
Some
what
of them
you
think
do.
that it's poverty. I don't know about slavery,
A
but a lot of them
washcloth?
look at
A
it as
washcloth?
poverty.
You can call it what you want to. I'm still using it.
They sell them in
I do too.
sets. They sell them in
I,
sets. I don't understand. So
I've
people
heard
opt
that
out of the
before.
washcloth in the set?
Well, I think everybody like I used to be like, why are you using a wash? Like, why? There's so many other options other than a face cloth.
True.
I
Yeah.
use
So,
I
that
mean, you
and
can
the
get a lot of
loofah.
things. You can get a
but
loofah.
I use that. Well, actually, I don't even use a face cloth for my face anymore. I have something else that I use now for my face.
I
So,
have that little
but
spongy
then I
thing.
realized,
The little
yeah,
spongy
I
thing.
have this little thing that I put my turmeric soap inside of. But
Your what soap?
Turmeric.
my turmeric soap,
Ain't that the shit that like cut down inflammation?
yeah.
It helps with even skin too. Like it
Yeah.
evens your skin
I
tone.
love turmeric soap now. I'm like in love with it. But yeah, it wasn't until a lot of people use washcloths. I found a lot of Black people still use washcloths, so I had to let go of my thoughts about them.
I didn't know that it was
I thought it was like
I
an
feel that
old school
people use
thing.
other tools and stuff, but I didn't know that it was a bad thing.
You use a washcloth, Anton,
Yes.
to wash your face?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Is it?
Why
I'll
is
be
it
back.
disgusting?
It's
One moment, please.
disgusting to use a washcloth to wash my face, dig into my eyes, and all of that. So what the fuck you use? What do you use?
Are you talking to
Quentin.
Quentin?
Yes. What does Quentin use? No, don't get off camera now.
Oh, he's probably going to get it. He's probably going to get it.
If it makes you feel better, Anton, I use a washcloth and a loofah.
Yeah, that's nasty. I would never wash my face with a loofah.
I don't wash.
Yeah, I don't use
I use this little thing.
What the fuck is that?
So I graduated from that. I used to use that, but to me it didn't hold the what do you call it? The lather well enough for my soap.
Wait.
So
Why
I
is it
moved on to
bad?
this net.
Because maybe I don't understand. So y'all can teach me something. Why is it bad to have a washcloth designated for your face?
I don't think that's bad. I think that's a choice.
Well, Quentin said it was bad. So why is it bad?
I just think you can never get a washcloth like clean. Like
What?
you can't tell
You
me.
wash it and go get another clean.
Right.
No, nigga,
Listen,
no,
like,
you
nigga,
don't have
niggas,
one
no,
washcloth.
nigga,
Now
stop.
people don't know how
No,
to
nigga.
they don't know what to do afterwards. That's true.
Nigga, you wash your face and you hang it on the rack and then you wash your face again. Niggas does not wash the washcloth every time they wash their
I
face.
use
have
one time.
I wish I could just take this inside the room. I have fucking 20 washcloths. Like, that's why you got a washing machine. It ain't like you got a manual.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are you doing with your loofah? Like once you wash your ass with a loofah, nigga, you got ass shit in your loofah.
I use my towel first.
Wait,
So,
what? How
This is so weird.
How
She-
dirty
she-
are
Hold on,
you?
y'all. Let me get ready to the rest of the super chats. This shit is going to a whole nother conversation. Give me a second. Gerard Craig says, I know an ex living in Jacksonville, Florida, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina to be with this dude, got married, had a daughter, found out the dude was cheating on her with another dude for 3 years, got a divorce, life goes on. Shit.
That's rough. Antoine
Walker says, yeah, I couldn't hang out with you if you're gay. It's that saying that you are what you hang around. Facts. Especially if you're a Medea type of gay. Imagine a cat, Vaughn Walker says, trying to bark and play with the dogs at the dog park. Agreed. Courtney Eggershow says, AD, I rock with that hoodie big dog. Please advise. Oh, this is Santa. Y'all know nothing about this? Got the team on the back. Do all of the sports teams. The Pistons on
What's
the back.
wrong with free balling? What does free balling have to do with jeans? What you talking about?
Got the Santa on the back. Yeah.
Santa Claus?
No, Santa is a brand and they do like custom.
Spell it.
SANA.
Okay.
Says it right here.
Well, it sounded like you said Santa, nigga.
Well, it says Santa, SANA.
I can't see it. No one can see that. Enunciate and stop trying to be mean.
Santa? That's how it's enunciated.
Okay.
That's how it's pronounced. Santa.
Gets me FUBU vibes, but okay.
Santa, it's a dope brand. It's phenomenal. Shout out to you, Courtney Egger. What in the world TV says I'm still upset about that Happy Valentine's text I received from my male employee that I had to let go. Desh says I was raised using white rags for the face and color rags for the body.
That's the horrible word to say.
Rags.
That's a horrible word.
Is it like moist?
It's right next to girthy.
Oh Jesus! A.R. Smitty says the guy who doesn't put water on his toothbrush.
What's wrong with that?
You don't put water on your toothbrush?
Who doesn't put water on their toothbrush?
I did.
Oh fuck it! Y'all all weird.
I will send my kids back. Go put some water on your
CPL says,
toothbrush.
yeah, I tried doing that with my wife, trying to be more open and explore, and she said, nah, she don't want to share me with other women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not exploring your sexuality though.
Yeah, Joshua says Q said it's disgusting to use a washcloth, but he free ball when he wear jeans. And shout out to Lonnie, says hi. Appreciate y'all. My dog Slimmy must be in the restroom or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm toast, y'all. I gotta go.
All right, Slimmy. Have a
Can't
good
keep
one.
Feel
nothing down.
better.
Fuck Raising
Feel better,
Cane's,
Slimmy.
man. Fuck them.
Go ahead, Slimmy. Get some rest, big dog. We got you, though. We gonna
I'm
hold you.
listening in, man. Y'all
All
have a
right,
good
we gonna
evening.
hold you down, Slimmy.
Take
Go
some
ahead.
turmeric.
Feel better, Slimmy. Yeah,
Thank you.
ginger.
All right, let's continue on. That means I got carried down here by myself. All right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I want to have this conversation. I'm gonna switch it completely up, and we're gonna take it off of relationships for a second. And I want to share my screen with y'all and have this conversation. Let me know if y'all can hear this well. Let me a second.
My kids are 18, 20, and 22. And I am amazed on here.
Can y'all hear that well?
Yes.
Okay, let me rewind it.
My kids are 18, 20, and 22. And I am amazed on here that what gets me the most hate in the comment section of posts is if I mention that I charge my kids rent. It's kind of shocking, but the rule since they were young, they've known, is if you're in college, you can live at home for free. If you're not, you have to work full time and pay rent. I start them about 6 months after graduation at $400. It goes up $100 a year. They have to start paying their own car insurance and gas at 16, and their own cell phone at 18, and rent if you're not in college. And I've had people say in the comments, your kids are going to hate you. Don't be surprised when they cut you off and never talk to you. And I guess if I raised crappy adults, that might be the case. But that's not the kind of people I raised. My son is still at home, pays rent, doesn't complain about it. And I increase it $100 every year. And at some point, he's going to say, okay, this is too expensive to pay to live at home. I'm going to move out. And that's, it's my house. They're adults, and that's the expectation, and they've known that. And my 18-year-old moved out with his friends, which is totally fine. He pays about the same he would pay me at home right now. He got lucky. But my daughter at 20 bought a trailer, lived in it for 6 months to save up and buy a house with her husband. So she's 23 now, and they own their own house that they got all on their own. And my son, who's living at home, has a ton of money in savings.
How, nigga, if you charging them rent?
I'm raising them to take care of themselves and be adults. You can't ask to have your parents treat you like an adult and still act like kids. And I don't blame parents who want to pay for their kids' things. Every family situation is different, but my kids have known this is how it's going to be their whole life. And we have a great relationship. And they could go ahead and be mad at me if they want, but I didn't raise kids like that. My mom made me pay all my own bills when I was a teenager too, and I didn't hate her for it either. In fact, I really appreciated it enough, the responsibility and how she helped me mature when you're supposed to, that's why I then did it with my kids, and even kind of tweaked it a little bit. So anyway.
So basically the conversation that's being had is that she said that at 16, I believe she said at 16 that they had to start paying for their own gas and maybe they even their own cell phone bill. Once they graduated from high school, within 6 months, they basically had to start paying rent if they wasn't going to college. and she increases it $100 every single year. I think she said that her kids was 18, 20, and 22. So the question that I have for you guys is, should you make your kids start paying rent? And if so, how would you do that and at what age? Do y'all think that it's good, bad, whatever?
Man, I think like I would never make my daughter pay rent. No, and my older son, it depends on like what he's doing, type of thing. Like in 2025, like how would they get a head up on life if you're siphoning money from your kids? You know, like what the fuck? I don't think that I would. No, but my kid also likes to work too, so like a lot. No, no. Final answer.
Kim?
I don't think that I would do that. Not and keep the money for myself. I do like the life lesson that it teaches them. Like you know, you got to work to eat, you got to work to live. So I like the lesson behind it, but I think if I did charge them rent, I would have to put it in a separate account and maybe help them furnish their first home with what they paid me or something like that. I don't think I would feel right charging them like to help me take care of things that I should have been okay taking care of on my own.
Is it a limit on the age? Like, what if they get 25, 26, 27, or anything like
Yeah,
that?
you start pushing 23, 24, you gotta go.
Right.
Pay up.
Yeah, there's absolutely a cutoff. At that point, you're just leeching. You know, you've failed to launch. So like there has to be some sort of consequence or incentive to get your life together.
Does it matter whether it's a boy or a girl?
Yep.
I
If
mean, they
my
both
little
get the same lesson. I think just based on how society views males, it's more important for them to have the lesson of taking care of themselves, maybe even at an earlier age. I wouldn't want to put my daughter in a position where she just ends up living with some random man or doing something like that so that she could get out of my house and sustain herself. So I would be nervous about that. But
Yep.
again, I don't
Molly,
charge either one.
what's your thoughts about that? Do you think that kids, and also, I mean, if y'all want to, y'all don't have to, as far as like when we grew up or when you grow up, or you know what I'm saying, when you were coming up, if you had to do that and how it affected you, and do you think that culturally is something that makes sense? Do you think that kids after a certain age, or if they're in their teenage years or they starting to approach 20, Molly, do you think that they should have to start paying some sort of rent?
I think what the lady said was fair. I don't see anything wrong with how she's running her household, well, how she was running her household while they were at the age where they could work and contribute to the place that they're staying in. Like Kim, though, if it were me, I would probably use that money and stash it away and gift it to them when they did move out so they could have it for a down payment or whatever. But I don't really see anything wrong with it. What was the other part of the question?
And I'm just saying, do you think that it's different today, as far as like whether or not when we were coming up
Oh.
versus the kids today, and the economics of what's happening and whatever? Do you think that is different of whether or not we, or you was, in a space, or the culture was having to do it at that time versus what it is that we do having to do today?
Um, I think when I was growing up, we kind of took pride in having some independence and having a job. I got my first job when I was 15 and working and being able to pay a phone bill or whatever. Now it seems like these kids and teens and adults aren't really as responsible for a lot of things. I feel like they have a lot of safety nets to the point, as you see a lot of Gen Z, they can't even handle working. So I don't think that they're getting enough responsibilities. I think they're getting baby too much. And I think if more parents was like that mother, they would be set up a little bit better for the real world and managing their money.
Okay. Carrie, thoughts?
You're probably gonna get mad because I'm not really black and white on this.
Why do I
I
gotta be?
get because you don't like when I don't just
I
say
don't, Carrie, I haven't
final
said anything
answer
in
like
months.
Quentin said.
I haven't said
What
anything.
what what did, what did I say?
I said he doesn't like when I'm not like final answer like you said.
Oh,
No, that's not true. I haven't said anything in months.
Um
I've been chilling. I've been slow motion.
no, yeah, I'm kidding. Um I get what she's saying. Like I'm okay with what she is saying because I think that it's important to have your lessons that you want to teach your children and for you to like enforce the rules or the guidelines or the structure to support the lessons you want your kids to get. I think that everybody can get to a space of being responsible adults in different ways, and so the circumstances differs. In general though, I think that your children should learn how to pay for what they want. They should learn how to earn for where they want to go. And I think that you can start that before they're even 18, before it becomes once you leave, if you don't go to college, then you pay rent. Like, I don't know that I agree with like that would be my if then, but I agree with the sentiment. So I think it's circumstantial. So if let's say that my children wanted to put all of their resources towards starting a lawn mowing business or something like that, like, or they proposition me, I don't want to go to college but I want to be able to do X and here's my game plan, this is what I want to do, blah 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 blah. Well, if I buy into that, this might not be the time for me to be like, all right, well, if you want to do that, you still got to pay rent just so that you're paying rent. He might be showing responsibility with his business plan, with going and getting funding for his business, with, you know what I'm saying, like the lessons and the values can be taught in different ways. I think back in the day, my sisters, all of us, like Molly said, we all wanted to go get jobs as soon as we could. You wanted to kind of make your own money.
Why did y'all want to go get jobs?
I wanted to go get a job so that I didn't have to ask my parents for the things that were not considered necessities. So if I wanted to go get some sneakers, I know I can go get them and I don't have to bring that to my parents. Even my son, like my son's 11 and he's already in the mindset of how he wants to be able to help, what he wants to be able to do. Now, once I graduated from college, I moved out on my own. I had to come home for a little while in my early 20s. My parents didn't even have to ask me to contribute. I was like, what bills can I cover? So it wasn't that I was paying rent per se. It was like, okay, I'll cover the cable, the electric, the whatever. So I think that you can raise your kids in a way where they will have that in them. But this is her way of getting there. And I'm not sure if there's a father, like, I don't know if she's a single mom or not, so it could also be the case where if it's just you, you might put in some extra rules just to make sure that your kids turn out independent. So I'm not mad at her. So that
I
was
think it's dumb.
my long answer.
My dad did that. I had an apartment, like I was like 24, 25. And then I was moving out of an apartment, and my friend, he bought a rental house. He's like, I'm about to buy this rental house, and let me get all the financing together, and then you can move in my rental house. I went to stay with my daddy for a month and a half, and that nigga charged me some rent. Wait, like, what the fuck you doing, bro? He asked
How
me.
much did he charge you?
He said, "When you gonna be out?" I said, "Give me about a month, 2 months." He was like, "All right, I'm charging you per month."
I think that a lot of times, not all, but a lot of times, parents charge their kids rent. Not necessarily. I think that a lot of parents use it as an excuse to say that they're teaching them responsibility. I think a lot of times people charge their kids rent to subsidize their lifestyle, and or to push their kids out of the house because they're trying to get them up out of there so that they can do what they want to do. I don't think that a lot of parents like their kids past a certain age and that they want to actually get them up out of the house. I think that they use that as an excuse. And so for a lot of people that say, no, I'm teaching them responsibility, I don't think that that's what they're trying to do. I think that they're trying to get them the fuck up out of there, or they're leveraging that money to help use, subsidize their lifestyle. I don't believe most parents.
But it's just hard though. Like even like it's a little different now. Like it's expensive. Like a
Yeah.
1-bedroom apartment. I live in Oklahoma. It's like a G.
Well, I got a different perspective. I think that group economics is much more powerful than trying to give them a perceived lesson of responsibility.
Absolutely. And I
I
think
think
that's where
that
we go wrong. We, at 18, we're like, okay, get out.
yeah.
And so that now it's twice as hard for you to save money to go and buy a house or whatever it is, that you could be doing long term with your money. You're spending it on rent when, like, what's wrong with you staying at home until you,
Yeah, I don't understand pushing your kids out to go give somebody else some money when you can keep them in the house.
right.
That's just me personally. Like, as I've grown older, I know that kids want, and I think that a lot of times kids seek independence because they don't feel like they have the financial freedom to do what they want to do. I personally teach my daughter, and none of us, like, and my mom and my dad have 4 boys. Obviously, I didn't have any sisters. I remember my 2 older brothers because I'm the middle child. And so my younger brother is 6 years younger than me, and my 2 older brothers are 6 and 7 years older than me. And I remember my 2 older brothers, because they had moved out and they had got married. And my parents went to them and was like, hey, what are y'all doing? And it was like, yo, we just figuring it out. We trying to wing it. And it was like, y'all need to come home. Bring y'all wives home. We just all gonna live in this house and we gonna figure it out. And y'all could just stay here as long as y'all want, and y'all can stack as much as y'all want. And they stayed there for like 2 to 3 years, and they just saved every dime. And then they went and bought a house together. Both of my brothers went and bought a house together. And then that's they was smooth. And when they got ready to leave, we all had fun. And when they got ready to leave, they had enough money and they saved up and they cashed out on the house together. And then eventually they wound up going, you know what I'm saying, they separate ways. And then they went and bought their separate houses and stuff. So they was able to leapfrog off of that. And when I went broke, I moved back with my parents, and that was the best decision that I ever made in my entire life. And I was 26 years old.
Did they charge you rent?
No. Never charged me a dime. Now that didn't mean that I didn't contribute, because I wasn't
45 days.
I was a man, so I did contribute. But they was happy because my daughter was born, and that was 2008 with the crisis. They was happy to have my daughter in the house with them, because it was like, oh man, we get to be around the grandbaby and all of this stuff 100% of the time. So it was exciting for them. And it allowed for me to really start stacking and really start spending my money on investments. Even when I started buying my first rental properties and stuff, I didn't live in them. I still stayed home. I didn't live in them. I just kept on buying them and renting them out, because it was an opportunity in the economy. But I guess my point is, for me personally, my daughter could stay home as long as I encourage her. I taught my daughter to not go out and get a job. Not go, because I don't want her out. What is she working for? To do what? I want her to enjoy her childhood. She got the rest of her life to work.
That's why my dad told me I was out of 3 siblings. I'm the only sibling that didn't work in high school.
Yep. I don't want her working. So I've taught her to not want to work, as far as like to need money to do the things that she wanted to do. I want her to spend all of her time on extracurricular activities, all of her time on taekwondo, all of her time on focusing on having fun and enjoying her childhood. I don't want her childhood to be stunted because she had to start doing adult shit too early. And she can stay, I'll make her as comfortable as she want to be. She can stay with me as long as she wants until she get married. And even when she get married, I'm gonna have a house for her and her husband, and then they can move into the house and that'll be paid for. And that's gonna get them going. That's gonna absolutely get them to everywhere that they need to be, so that they don't have to be behind the 8 ball, taking out student loans, trying to figure out that shit. I think that is kind of sort of, I think a lot of us have PTSD from the ways that we had to go out there and contribute to the household. I don't think that that's the way that it was supposed to go.
I don't think so either.
I agree with you. I think that there was a lot of, I don't know who started the template, but I think a lot of people, well, I'll just speak from my perspective. Um, I think that my parents kind of gave us what they were told from somewhere of what you should do. Like they planned as much as they could, but I think that they followed more so. All right, my dad used to always say, you go to school, you get a good education, you grow up, you get a good job, you get your house, you this, you that. But even that path didn't completely work for them, but they pushed it on us, and all of us ended up kind of having to do it in a different way than we were told. So like now as a parent, I'm forcing myself to look back and say, all right, what are the things that I'm doing just because they were done to me this way, and what are the things that I really need to reset, throw out, and do something different. And I think that this whole like where you should go to college, if you should go to college, how you should go to college, that's one of it. If you should live home, if you should move out, that's another one of it. If you should get a job, like there's all these pockets of things that I realized I had to figure out. My husband has to figure out based off of how he was raised.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see some people in the chat saying I wouldn't want to live in my dad's burner house. I think that y'all are stuck in
burner
your
house?
ways because I said that I would get my daughter a house when she's married.
I hate
I think that a lot of people are stuck in their ways and that they're projecting their issues and their trauma onto me. I fully plan on paying for my daughter's wedding. I fully plan on giving them a house fully paid for her to have in her name and for her to 100% own. And then I also plan on leaving her an inheritance, and she has a trust fund. So I don't want them to start off behind the eight ball. Why would I want?
Why would you want that?
I don't think that most adults want to pay mortgages, property insurance, or rent. I think that they would prefer to have their money go towards things that's actually more meaningful and to actually focus on building wealth. Why would you want to give money to a bank just to say that, oh man, I don't want this gift from y'all? Bullshit. If y'all could, then y'all parents was to give y'all a house that's fully paid for in a great neighborhood, you would take that shit too. Don't cap with me.
Have y'all seen
Don't fucking
Anton's
cap with me.
houses? His houses are beautiful.
Well,
That-
It's
and
not just
another
that's
part
a
of it,
regular shack, y'all. His
Well,
houses are
we're
well,
the
and
beautiful.
only culture
a lot of people
like
are
that.
operating from different spaces. Like it's going to be different if you are financially sound and okay versus you not. Like I remember I worked with this guy, and he said his parents, one who is a doctor, one is a lawyer.
Mhm.
And it's three of them, two brothers and a daughter. And he said our parents, all of us have, it was like either 40,000 or 50,000 that we all get when we get married, and we can decide if we want to use that towards our house or towards the wedding. And I'm like, dang, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Like the perspectives are really different depending on, I think, if your parents, not to say your parents
No, I
can't be
understand what you're
financially
saying.
sound, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you're looking at things from a totally different scope depending on your own financial situation. So
yeah.
but that's again one of the things that I want to break, because I see how, like for you, Anton, you can look at this from a totally different angle purely because of where you are now versus somebody else who's not there. So I want to
Yeah,
make
but
sure like
Carrie, I look at it from a different lens. I think that us, a lot of times as adults, and I'm not speaking, I'm just talking about culturally. I think that us as adults, we spend money on shit that we want to spend money on.
mm-hmm.
We'll go take all of the vacations. We'll do I don't live the life that I could live based off of my income. I spend the majority of my income investing into the business that ultimately is going to put the people that surround me in a better position. And then I do what I want to do afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So before I ever spent the dime on myself, I made sure that college fund was funded. That
Why was that important?
What do you mean? Well, because they didn't ask to be here.
Right. It's
And
about
so
moving the generation
because
forward.
my child didn't ask to be here. We selfishly bring children into the world for whatever reason that we bring them into. So at the very minimum, I don't think that I should be focusing more on me than them. You know what I'm saying? So that they can be successful.
Now
I
let me
didn't
ask you a
bring her into the
question.
world to be behind the eight ball. I study Asian culture, right? And they're, for everybody in the chat that say, oh man, this makes it bad for them, let me tell you something. They do two things at the same time. Children don't fucking struggle, but they push them to be financially responsible, to get an education, to learn work ethic without having to do it for other people. And then ultimately they groom them to take over the family businesses, depending on whatever it is that's going on. Bernard Arnault, the guy that owned LVMH, all his children work for his companies. If you look at some of these Asian cultures and these Italian cultures and stuff like that, their children are groomed for success. Every single thing that they do is calculated. And they don't have to go and do the dumb shit that we do in order to feel good about the fact that we got work ethic. You can teach them and give them the lessons in controlled environments while at the same time setting them up for success, and they stay home and they stay focused and they live in their, and those kids understand. And if you talk to them at 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, they're like, yeah, I'm over here. He told me to come over here and get an education. We got to go to this university or whatever. But, I know that by the time that I'm 30, I have to start focusing more on what they understand. And kids are smart. And I think that personally, this is my belief. I think that if we made more of a sacrifice to where we maybe not getting all of the things that we want immediately, and we focus more on what's best for our children, honestly, I believe a lot of parents are selfish as fuck. I don't think that they care about their children as much as they say that they do. Because if they wanted to, they could put their children in a better position. I don't think you have to be super rich. Like, you can start from the time that they're born and start actually going into a college plan to ensure that they're going to be okay. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? But we got to make sure, man, I see motherfuckers, they have on all of the purple label and shit, and they kids be dusty as fuck. Like, I see it every day. And I think that where you put your resources is where you actually show whether or not you care about certain things or not.
I think a lot of people struggle with future planning. I think it's hard for people to put something now towards something for later that they can't see. I wouldn't say that it's all that the parents don't care. I mean, I guess indirectly it comes across that way, but I think the intention in their heads are in the right place, but the action is not there. And you probably can see that as a reflection of their own activity for their own life, their own planning, their own stuff. So, and that's the part that I honestly, sometimes I don't get, and I don't want to make it into a race thing, but sometimes it just seems like
I think it's culture.
People, right? Maybe it's that, like it something with people who have our skin complexion. In let me not make broad statements, but just like the organization, the structure, the follow through, the like not cutting corners, the method. Sometimes it just seems like we struggle more with that than other cultures.
We do struggle. I think we are getting better just as a whole, but I think that like our generation, let's say as parents, we now have the luxury to learn about parenting, to not just be in survival mode all the time, to open up your mind to be able to say, okay, what can I do so that the next generation doesn't have to start over like I did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this is a luxury that we have. We're not in survival mode the same way that maybe our parents were, and definitely not their parents before them.
Yeah.
So it's our responsibility to take the advantages that we do have and look into generational wealth and just how to make ourselves better as people.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think we need to, I'm not going to tell other people, because I don't think that the woman that was in the video was wrong. I think that everybody, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's a wrong answer.
Yeah.
But I do believe that personally, the greatest secret for success is who you decide to lay next to, because that could be one of the biggest financial decisions that you ever make in your life. And if you practice in group economics, if you have an 80 to 85 year runway, why do you need to be out there in the streets by the time that you're 20?
That's true.
Most people don't even figure out their fucking life until they're in their 20s, they late 20s to their 30. And it's like, chill out. Listen, you got some cushion. Let's chill out. Let's figure it out. Let's not put yourself behind an 8 ball with a whole bunch of debt and all of that type of stuff. Come on, let's figure this out together. And I think that if we had more people around, and practicing group economics and living together is also being influenced by and running decisions by the people that's closest to you so that you don't crash out, I think that we would have much greater results. I don't think it's just getting out on your own. A lot of kids want to get out on their own so that they can go and fuck.
Facts.
They trying to get out so they can go and fuck. They not trying to figure out their life and shit. They trying to get out there so that they can have some people spending the night and get the freedom that they thought that they never had.
You know what? And some of it is probably just toxicity in parenting. I think some parents deep down may not even want their children to do better than what they are. You know, I've had friends whose parents have said to them, "Oh, you think you too good for us, for this, for whatever." And so maybe there's a reason that they're not setting them up to be successful.
Yeah.
And pushing it aside. I remember in my early 20s, my aunt came to me, and she only has one child. She was all about taking care of her money or whatever. And she said, why don't you and your sisters, it's 3 of y'all, why don't y'all get together, buy a house, like a 3-family house, let your parents live like on the first floor, one of y'all live on the other floor, rent the other one out, let that cover the rent. You know, she's having this whole conversation with me. And I got stopped at live with my parents. Maybe I got lost at the basic level stuff because I was like, nah, I'm good. I want to live on my own. My sisters want to live on their own. And that's when she was like, that's one of our problems. We won't follow she was basing off of the Asian culture.
Yeah.
And now, like 20 years later, I'm like, that would have been a great idea. That would have been property number 1, lead to number 2, number 3. So
I got a good friend. I'm gonna just say a good friend that we raise our children completely different, same age and everything. And they push their kids out so that they can hurry up and go to college, and they kids doing the same dumb shit that they did, taking out all of these goddamn student loans and stuff. And I'm like, for what? Why are you pushing them out to do that? And they said, well, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna keep my kid at home. I'm keeping my kid at home. They're not about to be out there for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we just had 2 different philosophies, and I don't understand it. I don't criticize it because I don't think that there's a wrong answer, but I think that a lot of times our kids are set up to fail, or they set up to have to overgrind to catch up, to get to ground. You wouldn't believe the amount of adults is coming, and they come to me every day and they say, man, I just need to get rid of the debt. But what if you never was in that situation in the first place? And I don't think it always is your fault. I think it's the way that you were taught, and then they have to come and figure that shit out, and then they don't get to ground zero until they fucking 35, 40. Now they want to start to invest in shit. And it's like, no, let me show you a little bit different way, and hopefully we can head off some of that headache that you would have, because you're gonna bump your head anyway. But let me prevent you from cracking it wide open and then having to get stitches. So that's just my life philosophy.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily like that push towards college. I think there are other things that we could do, especially when it's like, oh, go to college. I don't know how you're going to pay for it, but you should go. So now, like you're saying, these people are taking out all these loans and doing that. And I'm saying that as a person with 2 degrees. I still don't think that the push towards college is the best thing for us to do.
Whoa.
But we don't always have those conversations with our kids, though. You know what I'm saying? I think every kid is different, and I don't think it's a one size fits all. But I know one thing: they be pushing them out. I know people that be like, "Hey, when you 18, you gonna get the fuck out." And that's all of the kid be thinking about subconsciously the entire time as they about to go to prom. Like, damn, I'm about to turn 18. I got to get the fuck out. Like, that's traumatic, in my opinion.
My dad, he didn't do that to us. And if I was wise, I would have took my dad up on his offer. I didn't do it because I did what I want. But my dad said, he said, from the day you graduate, I'll cover your college expenses, but you got 4 years to get in and get out.
I think that's great.
And I was like, nah, bro.
So, anyways, that's a great conversation. Anybody else got anything to add into that before we move over to the next thing? I'm on it, Carrie. My time is on it.
You're doing good.
I'm on it, Carrie. See that?
What is it, 42? 42? You 42?
Huh?
You 42 now?
43.
43. Oh, yeah, you're older than me. See, you wise.
I'm getting it, Carrie. I'm getting it. I'm gonna get Carrie to sleep tonight. Yep. Kung Fu Hustler says, wash clothes for life. You can just wash some parts with bare hands.
What?
I don't know.
What is this?
Washcloths for life. I don't know what that is. Floyd says, you're supposed to have an abundance of washcloths and wash them accordingly. It's a black people thing. Not using a washcloth is weird. Victor Williams says, where is the father? I said the same thing. Gers says, originally I said no, but thinking about it now, I think I would make them pay at some point, but I wouldn't keep it. I would put it into an account and give it all back to them when they move out. Live from the Motherland says, this is what's wrong with American families. Other tribes allow their children to save money at home until they can afford to buy a home. Chris Cunningham says, Indians and J people keep their kids home until marriage. We should follow that same footprint. That's how they get ahead. Word Custom says 400 a little much. Yeah, she charging 400 right off the gate. But these privileges
with the increase every year.
She wants out. Have to leave.
She doing a 25% increase. That's higher than fucking.
That's great. Starting at 18 if you don't go to college.
That's against like Oklahoma housing laws. They can't read your freaking stuff like I think like 4%.
400 a little much, but these privileged entitled kids today will play Xbox and eat all of the food. You can work with them if they making life moves though. Craig G says, before I moved out in my 20s, my mom made me pay $400 a month. That was reasonable, honestly. She said I had to go to work or go to school. I got my skills up and then left.
That's steep, nigga. $400.
Live from the Motherland says, I think the reason that age group 18 to 25 is so stressed out is that they're being hit with financial expectations that can't meet in today's economy. Victor Williams says kids paying rent is 100% a poverty thing. You can teach that responsibility without having them to pay your bills. My kids will stay home, attend college, STEM, and they can leave whenever they're married. What in the World TV says there was a bang bang in high school. There was a bang bang in a Dallas high school. A young brother bang bang 4 other young brothers. Just another day of self-defense. Really?
Cool story, bro.
I'm gonna have to check that out if that's a national story. Gur says this is how you create generational wealth. Making kids pay rent is only going to set them back. Allowing them to save is one of the ways you can help them get ahead. Chef G Rap says Anton gonna force son-in-law to take the Daniels last name too. So y'all don't know that in other
whoever she marries.
Y'all know that in other cultures that they actually pay for the wedding, and it is not abnormal for you to also pay for the first house that they get into, right?
I think my one of my good friends, his name is one of my best friends. His name is Andy, and the amount of money that he got from his Indian nigga, 250 racks in gifts.
That's not abnormal.
That shit was wild. That nigga also came into his wedding on a motherfucking horse,
and they get hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts.
Yo, that's just wild. Nigga, they ain't getting no blenders and toasters. Them niggas is getting cash money.
I don't understand. Why do people want to be? Who y'all trying to prove something to? Like, you can't prove anything to me when you 20, 21, 22 years old. You still trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I expect for you to still be trying to figure it out. I don't know. Anyways. And I know that a lot of people get into it over money. So when you remove that issue out of the equation, I think that it makes for a more conducive environment for people to nurture the relationship. Anyways, Gur says, if you want to help your kids get ahead, create a savings account for them when you first find out you're pregnant, and put it into them until they move out or turn 18. Easy way to save and will help them get ahead. Gerald Davis says this is the difference when you properly establish and have means but society's push become an employee and not the employer. Gen X was groomed that way based off of opportunities today. Gur says also open up a joint secure credit card account with them as early as you can and make sure it's in a good standing.
Can we talk to like normal Americans? Like normal Americans can't save money. What are you talking about?
No, I don't even think you need to do that. You can just add them as an authorized user, and then they get your credit history. I ain't getting into that. And they don't need to buy nothing off of credit
At all.
especially when you get a house. That's the whole idea, is that when you gift them that thing, then they don't have to go through the same thing that other normal Americans go through, and they can focus more on the other things that matter. When you're young, you should live minimalist as possible. Anton, big facts. All these parents getting taxed is $10K, but putting no investments back into the stocks and IRA. I agree with you. I think 80s mindset is based off of P's method. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Salute. Thank you for all the motivation. Shout out to Lewis. I appreciate you, big dog. My 17-year-old has been working for over a year. He pays $100 a payday for rent, bills, and investing 20% and save 10%. Gets to have fun with the rest. Getting the habit started early. He's 6 figures up and love following the markets. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for the super chat. Also, Jamal Chambers says, I agree. I got my state job in a rush to get an apartment, seeking freedom. Big regret not staying home longer. Gerald Davis says, Gen X was the era of the latchkey child. I was raised in the upper middle class, and other cultures promoted economic elevation. It was common if you were 18, you rented an efficiency, girls stayed home. Lasher Deviant's Gaming says, I charged my son rent from the time that he got a job. I didn't spend it. I put it in a Schwab account to gain interest. When he was ready, he didn't go to college. He got an HVAC training, and now he owns his own home at 22. Shout out to you. That's great. Me University says, leaving out something when your kid have a kid. All right, that's a different conversation. That is a whole nother dynamic. Corey P says, is it a bad idea to start on GSXR 750 or Ducati V2 as a first bike? I have zero experience. Quentin? You want a Gixxer or
Kawasaki 400, boss?
A who?
Kawasaki 400.
So you want them to go down. Why do everybody, when they first get their first bike, they want a Gixxer?
Because that's what they hear in the streets.
Everybody want to get a Gixxer when they first come out. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for the super chats. I think this is really productive conversation. Somebody said that we don't really go deep or we don't have other conversations, but
stop.
What do you mean stop? That's what they said.
We love JAS.
We sure do. We sure do. All right. I don't know. You think that they're gonna grow out of that 400?
Yeah, I think 600 is probably easy because you always want more power.
Yeah, you grow out of that immediately.
Your bike only goes as fast as you make it, so
yeah, you're gonna grow out of that immediately. So yeah. I would get a 600 as a first bike. Anyways, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me share this next screen with you guys because I want to get your opinions and we're going to talk about it. So this is an interesting conversation that I think that the ladies can probably give us more insight on because I personally was not familiar with it until I actually seen it for myself. So I didn't know that it was such thing as a plan C.
Me either.
I thought that it only went up to plan B.
Same.
But this is what the ladies are talking about now, and this is what's being communicated.
In exactly 24 hours, which means now it's time to start. Meet the proposal. I don't know. Time to finish the job. And I'm sorry if I sound insensitive, but the way I cope with things is dark humor. My baby needs diapers, so I'm going to pick up a pack of diapers for myself. Anything prepared. Like, I spent the whole day just processing and thinking. I was at work and I had this fake mask on, being happy and positive. From the inside, I was completely losing my shit. So I ended up leaving early. I did some self-care. The toes too. Okay. All right. I'm procrastinating. The site is Plan C. I know I told y'all to message me for the link, but y'all really are messaging me. The site is Plan C. You select your state. Bada bing, bada boom. You're supposed to take 4, but it also comes with extras in case it didn't work and you really gotta get the job done. Goodbye, little baby.
What? Whoa.
I know this is probably.
What's the problem, Quentin?
She said goodbye, little baby, like it's like
It's an abortion pill.
So what? I don't get it. Like,
wait, we're gonna get into it. Let me play the rest of the video.
Really so ungodly what I'm doing, and God's probably gonna be like, "Girl, why are you calling me right now?" But God, I need you right now. All right, we pray to God. Let's do this. All right.
what's she doing?
Put it in her jaw.
I started on Thursday. I took the pills 24 hours later, which is Friday. I'm off on the weekend, so hopefully the pain is not that bad. I've heard that some people have bled for a week, 2 weeks. Remember, don't let anybody make you feel bad, because once again, that's your body. The child you would be financially responsible for. Nobody else but you. It's been like 30 minutes. Cramps have started. I have a fever and I'm having chills. It's been exactly an hour. It's kind of hard to swallow. I have really bad diarrhea. Oh my God. I did get some liquid IV just to replace the electrolytes that I'm losing, and the blood has started. This has been 2 hours now. I'm feeling nice, feeling good. Off of ibuprofen 400, I took 200s, and I ordered some liquid IV because the diarrhea is real. Like right now, I feel my stomach bubbling. Like I'm gonna poop on myself in my sleep.
So, with that being said, I have recently been informed through social media that there is now a Plan C, which is what Molly said, basically an abortion pill. And when I looked in the comments of the videos and the amount of women that was in support of it and taking it and saying, hey, listen, this is just a way of life and all of this other type of stuff, I was amazed, personally amazed. So,
So they says Plan C, you can take it up to 10 or 11 weeks.
correct.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So why didn't they just call it an abortion pill if that's what it is?
It's more
Exactly.
marketable to say Plan C because they already got a Plan B.
I think it's disgusting that she showed herself on camera murdering her baby. Like, that's not our business.
I thought
I
she
don't
was
like
gonna die
that.
for a second. I was
But
like,
exactly. But at the same time, these are the type of women men are getting pregnant. So
The amount
y'all
of
won't.
women that was in the comments of the video that was saying, yeah, I got 3 and I didn't took it and I felt like I was about to die, but
I
hey,
know girls
listen,
who have taken it. Hmm.
really?
Hmm.
I didn't even know that it was a such
I
thing as a
don't
Plan C.
like Rita said, and Carrie said, I almost don't know anybody outside of myself that's never had an abortion. I know girls from high school who was getting them. But men get them pregnant. So what do you do? What do you say? Women want to walk around with a cemetery for a vagina. That's on them.
cemetery.
And and the men are okay with it. So it's no shame. We're getting to the point where this is people need to stop having sex. It's just getting disgusting. She just murdered her baby for everybody to see. And this is normal. We're desensitized to it. This is some women's regular way of life. And plan Bs don't be working like men think. Plan C.
Quinn, what do you think about this situation?
I think there's an easier way to not have a baby. I think it's disgusting, and I don't think women should put their body through it. I think Plan B has become too normalized. I guess Plan C as well. I think initially Plan B was probably off some emergency oops type of stuff. But I know a homegirl, she was so bad. She told me that the dude she was messing with is not responsible, so she picked up Plan B on the way to go get it in. Cause he's like, he ain't the kind of nigga to pull out.
So okay, I'm very, very confused. Very confused. So why don't women? Because I know that birth control could have effects on a woman's body, right? Depending on what type of birth control that you have or you take or whatever. But it can't be worse than taking Plan C.
That sounds like death for 2 hours, man.
So
I'm sure it lasts longer than 2 hours. It has to.
Yeah.
Well, I think that they say it's like I don't know, 24 to 48 hour situation or whatever.
Is it prescribed, or you can just go pick it up from the store?
No, I think that you can order it and they can ship it to
Apparently
you in
on
all 50 states.
planty.com.
Yep. You can order it, I believe, and they ship it to you in all 50 states.
Yeah, it says it's not over the counter.
That is
And
crazy though.
requires
So
prescription.
it
But
requires
let me say
what?
this, as somebody who will not send that girl a single dollar for her baby, I'm
Depends on the
not buying a
location.
diaper. I'm not sending that kid to daycare. I'm not doing any of that. So I can't say, well, she should have had this baby. It's like at this point, she's damned if she do, damned if she don't. Like either you're gonna be the single mom, I assume, or you're not gonna have this baby. I mean, what are your options at that point? You know,
But
what feed is done.
these women, they're like repeat offenders, though. It's not like one and done. This is their solution. Multiple times. Like, what were we talking about? Some girl had said she had 13 abortions when she was telling somebody she was pregnant.
Yeah.
No, you can order over the mail in the mail.
Yeah, I think they did that now after all that Roe v. Wade stuff. It's a little bit easier for women to get, but
Yeah, you can get it like an Amazon package.
Nigga, next day delivery.
I don't know. I feel like if men are willing to get these type of women pregnant, I don't see nothing
What is
wrong
this
with it.
type of woman? Like what? Like
A woman who would sit there and record herself giving herself an abortion.
okay, understood.
I know I've heard of a woman like that I know in real life, and I don't know how true it is because obviously people talk or whatever. That one of the reasons that she can't have kids now that she want kids is because she had too many
abortions.
Yeah,
that's a consequence you got to deal with.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any sympathy. They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
But
Just don't cry when you don't, when your insides are messed up because you weren't
so here's
caring.
my
So
question: is this as common as I'm starting to realize that it is? Because it seems like this is not abnormal. Like the way that I was looking at the comments and the way that people was just like, "Yeah, girl, don't let this is normal." I did it twice.
It just don't make no sense when you can just be safer. I don't understand.
there's
I'm gonna say that generationally, living in a society that's oversexed, and I think that it probably is normal for now, for the times that we're living in. Although this is the first time I've ever heard of it, I still think this is probably just normal for the times, especially given the fact that there's such a stigma on being like a single mom, but then also the glorification of being over sexualized. So I mean, this is the result of that.
It's women's fault.
Okay.
Like it's all y'all's fault. Like having sex used to be like dangerous. And like with the advent of all this medication and all these different ways of getting rid of babies, like women have become more liberal with their vaginas.
men don't complain about it though. Y'all take full advantage
That's
to
not
the
us.
point women are
That's not
taking
for us to
Plan
complain
C's
about.
though.
It's for women to be more discriminate about who they fucking open their legs to. Like it's in our nature to have sex. It's not in y'all's nature just to give it to us off some whim shit.
I don't know if it.
It's the culture. It's the culture, Quentin. It's hypersexualized. You don't even see it's women get offended when men tell them to dress more modestly. Like, come on.
I just don't know if there's a solution at this point.
It's not.
Let them crash
Like
out.
I had this conversation with someone a while back. Like tradition is gone. Tradition is pure pressure from dead people. You know what I mean? Like we are living in a society.
Say that again. That's pretty dope.
I said tradition is pure pressure from dead people. You can't tell me that what my grandma was supposed to be doing, I'm supposed to be doing in 2025.
I'm gonna say that shit in a group, and it's gonna be so profound the way that I break it down. I'm gonna have a story that lead into that shit.
Like, I'm sorry, Grandma Luby didn't have the world at the palm of her hands, type of stuff. So
yeah,
I'm a really
Um,
set that shit up. Yo, listen,
I
'cause you know what? Y'all just not as focused as y'all. You know what? It's not even anything that we can tell y'all.
oh
Tradition is peer pressure from dead people. And that's what I just think. I'm gonna really set that shit up. I'm gonna land it. It's gonna go viral, and I'm not gonna give Q Diddy no fucking credit for it.
Right.
No
He's
fucking
gonna be like, I
extra
will do
dollars.
this one day.
it's gonna be on the thumbnail. He ain't gonna
Yeah,
get no
yeah.
credit.
You're right though.
What was you about to
We
say,
don't have
Carrie?
any. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say that don't I think that there is a void of just instruction. Because even listening to this, it's hard for me to be too judgy because to me this reminds me of just a 2025 version of what I remember when I was coming up. Um, and I think a lot of, and I'm going to include myself in this when I say I think a lot of young teenage girls, there's no solid instruction of what you do. There's no solid do this, don't do that as it relates to your body, as it relates to relationships, as it relate like and now there's no solid instruction and there's more options.
Hmm.
So to me, it's
But
even worse. It's
but it's
even easier to make random, dumb decisions regarding yourself. And I'm not saying it as an excuse, but I really think that that is a big thing.
but they celebrating it. Think about it though, Carrie. They're talking about it. Did you like you see how she was acting right after she took it? And she was
For
just
sure.
like they're
This,
openly promoting it on social media. This is I don't see this as oh my god, I'm confused, I'm messed up, I don't know what to do, didn't have any instruction. I don't see that. I see, yeah, girl, look at we back outside type shit. That's what I see.
I'm not saying the lack of instruction will equal, oh my God. I'm saying the lack of instruction equals, yeah, girl, look at me. I'm saying that it equals exactly what you see.
I don't know,
They
Carrie.
following
and this is
It,
Glorilla.
it
this
He
is
she
equals.
say
why I heard Molly saying that we're doing it to them, but it's not our bodies that are getting fucked up, man. Nothing's happening to men by getting you pregnant. Well, to our bodies anyway.
Yeah, physically.
So that's
y'all
why I was
having
like,
sex with demons that
who
are recording
cares? It's
themselves
not. I
murdering
can
their
bust a nut in a
baby
demon
for
and go
social
home
money.
and sleep with the baby. I
And
won't
then y'all
feel
wonder why y'all
nothing.
money be
That's not
fumbling,
what we're
why y'all
talking
be
about.
all
We're not
type of
talking
stuff.
about child
Okay,
support. We're
okay. It
talking
doesn't.
about
There's no such thing as a spiritual undertones, no type of spiritual foundation. We just gloss over all of that, even though
it is.
the
If you don't
whole
believe it, it does
entire
not.
planet was based
You
off
have
of
to
some
believe
type
in
of
that for it to happen.
spiritual fun. Well, people better start believing, or are we going to continue to have a secular life where women are
But
broadcasting
Molly,
themselves aborting their children? I don't care that she got an abortion. She's broadcasting it and she's proud. And women are champion behind it. Men are like, oh, yep, oh well, can't do nothing. Like, shut up. I'm not you, Quentin, but this is just a state. Y'all men have to start leading these women into something.
No, women don't take accountability. Most women don't take accountability for shit.
Who's
And
holding them accountable? Who's
no
holding them
one
accountable?
can. No one can because they motherfuckers don't listen.
what
Well, we're
I
man
just
is
think that
going
gonna
goes back to
continue not
what
to
Carrie
listen and
was
respect
saying.
men because nobody can tell us nothing.
I was deathly afraid
I agree,
of
Molly.
getting a woman pregnant when I was like before marriage or anything like that. As I was coming up, like I just knew I just wouldn't be able to come home with that type of energy. And so I just never even, it was not a possibility of me ever getting a chick pregnant because that shit just, it just couldn't happen. It could not happen. I just felt I would be so
why?
shamed. I would be,
Why?
you said why?
Yeah.
Because my family had a standard.
What?
Exactly.
My
Because
family had
what?
a standard.
Right.
Okay.
That goes back to
Okay.
what Carrie
And
was
a
saying.
lot,
I
that's what
wasn't
I'm
about to
saying.
embarrass my father by him putting all of this energy and you know what I'm saying, dedicating and making the type of sacrifices that he made, and then I got to come home. You know what I'm saying? With a and you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even a possibility. It wasn't even a thought because I was just like, man, I can't control what she do after I get her pregnant. I'm not even putting myself in that position. Fuck that.
Nobody, a lot, not
That's why I
nobody.
like head so
Many
much.
people are not thinking
You
that
know what I'm
that
saying?
far. And sometimes it's not even that. Some parents are just not talking about stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like you might come from some broken home or some, crazy upbringing. They just might not even be talking to you about it. Meanwhile,
They
your
didn't have to
peer
talk to
group,
me about it though, Carrie. It was just understood.
Right, but not everybody
and
gets that.
I get that, but I'm telling you that was not my, like, what you're saying. You were an anomaly based off of like
No, that's the
what
way
I
all of my family was. Like my brothers didn't do that shit. None of that.
no, I'm
We was
saying
all like,
compared to
listen,
what.
hoes over money over hoes, but at the same time, it was like, wait a minute though, dog. Like it wasn't abnormal. And Carrie, we the same age. We know what the culture was. I'm assuming that it was similar regardless of where we were, our geographical location. It wasn't uncommon for niggas to go to the store and get condoms before you went out, just in case you slipped into some pussy. Like, hey dog, it wasn't uncommon for you to say, hey man, you got a condom, you got a rubber on you or some shit like that. It was in the movies. I remember one of my favorite movies, and we used to laugh our ass off, was this movie called Booty Call. And it had Tommy Davidson and
You
Jamie
got to
Foxx.
lick it before you stick it.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to lick it,
And
rub it
so
down before
it
you
was so
lick
many
it.
fucking references in that movie. Then they was talking about dental dam. I didn't know what the fuck dental dam now. I had found out through watching the movie, like, what the fuck is dental dam? Like, they got that shit? But it was so many references. I can't hit it. Oh man, you got a condom. The store is open too late. And so even the movies was talking about it culturally. And we kind of got educated even without talking to our parents. Like, it was just normal. Hey man, you got a rubber? I ain't got no rubber, man. Fuck that. I ain't messing with her. It was normal.
And
Today it is normal to take prep. I found out from prep what prep was on the fucking internet.
but like I said, if I'm honest, that's the 2025 version, at least around with what I was around. And um okay, so I learned, what's up? Hold on.
So are women using condoms to prevent pregnancy or STIs?
Probably pregnancy.
Nobody's using condoms. I don't know.
Well,
They
somebody
using
But
is.
Plan C
right.
in the clinic.
I'm of
So
Carrie's mindset
I'm
though.
sorry.
I don't think people are there, especially women. There's no guidance anywhere, and so like Anton, like you were saying in the movies when we were growing up, it was there. It was in the songs. It's not in the songs now. I mean, look at what they're talking about. It's not in the movies now. And with the parents being off at work, both of them, there's nobody guiding these people, guiding this younger generation, and they're just taking what they can from the environment, and this is where we end up.
Yeah.
Grannies are getting
I
BBLs. Like,
I
who do
had
you
a
follow?
I had an awkward conversation with my youth pastor, like 20 year or like 15 years after the fact, and he was just seeing all the people that he ministered to through the days with children, and he said that maybe I should have been telling y'all how to protect yourselves instead of telling y'all just not to have sex.
Absolutely.
I remember in even some of the worst movies. I remember in Menace to Society when Eileen called Kane and she was like, "I'm pregnant," and Kane was like, "Bitch, stop lying. I had the Jimmy on extra tight." Like, that was the line that I remember. He was like, "Stop lying. I had the Jimmy on extra tight." And then she was like, "So what? So what? You man enough to take a life? You're not man enough to be able to take care of one?" And he was like, and he just hung up the phone on her. But I remember that line. Stop lying. I had the Jimmy on extra tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just the normal. Yeah, it was stealing, killing, drug dealing, and fucking murders and shit like that. But the Jimmy was still on extra tight.
I remember everybody had bags and bags of all different types of condoms, flavored
Yep,
condoms,
I
all this
remember that
stuff
The
shit.
from Planned
colors that they
Parenthood,
would
Fucking
pick.
colors,
ribbed
the
condoms
blue,
for
all
her
these
pleasure.
rib condoms, all these things. But people also, we still had a daycare in our high school. We still
Yeah.
had plenty of people who, like, abortions were happening, and then when Plan B came out,
Yeah.
that was like you just said, Quentin, that it was presented like $50, go get that Plan B, or $75, one or the other, go get that Plan B. Like, and you're fine. Matter of fact, what I was gonna say earlier was
I have to cancel my tour.
I learned that when I was younger, I learned that if you skip the sugar pills in your birth control pill pack, you can miss your period cycle, so you can just repeat and not get your period. Like, these are all the types of things that you're learning from your peer group.
Sugar pill?
Meanwhile,
the placebos
birth control.
I don't know how they look now, but back in the day, in your pack, you would have 7 sugar pills that you would take to keep the habit of taking the pill while you're on your cycle. So so you knew when you were approaching, your period's gonna come. But if you didn't want your period,
you skip that week.
Skip that week of sugar pills and go to your next pack, and then your period won't come. So these are all the different things. Meanwhile, your parents are like, I got you on birth control pill. They think you over here learning all these different things from your friends, from your peers. Like, that's what I'm saying. To me right now, this is just like the 2.0, 3.0 version of what I remember being around.
Yeah, this shit is wild. But the people that's teaching it is the fucking 20-year-olds now.
Glorilla put in her song, if you don't want the baby, don't keep it. These girls is listening to their masters.
Look at the music. Look at the culture. This is what people are absorbing. This is who's teaching them. Who else is teaching them? Their mama wasn't there.
Can we just leave Glorilla out of this right now?
I love her, but
I like her music.
What are we doing though? What are we telling young girls? Like, that's sick.
All right. Listen, I gotta stay on point. So curious for us to stay focused. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we go. I'm gonna be focused from now on. Read some of the truth. I got one more subject. We're gonna spend 15 minutes on it, and then we're gonna wrap this shit up. MJ Merriweather says, I think our mentality keeps us poor. It's almost like we do not want to see our own succeed. We live in a scarcity mindset. Shout out to MJ. RG says more women would be better off if they ejecto-seek the babies.
He's talking about return to sender.
They not ready for it. God damn it. What the fuck is going on here? Word Custom says, if birth control is being linked to hurting women's bodies, what the F do they think this will do to them? It's crazy. Then again, these folks took the jab. So Greatness to Work says, as the father of all of the daughters, this ish scare me. Of all daughters, this ish scare me. Milani 24 says, at 32, I just found out my mom's doctor appointment that she was a serial killer.
Interesting.
I looked at her in shock, and she told me third time's the charm and smiled. They need to bring back them Trojan Man commercials. Says Gerb. Vaughn Walker says, is plants he made in China? I have no idea. A.R. Smitty says, even Trey Songz had a track called Store Run. Lonnie says, AD tried to confess his love for the art of fellatio and they just brushed past it. No, they know they know it. They know it. I'm just glad that they didn't turn their cameras off this time.
Slimmy's gone.
Antoine Walker says, look, grandma is 40 now. Mama and dad is in the streets. Man, grandma is 36. I don't know what y'all talking about. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications. All right, something a little bit more lighthearted. All right, to wrap it up. Are women selfish for wanting men to do this? Let me go ahead and put that on the screen, and then we're going to go from there.
So here's the thing. My husband works 2 jobs, and he works 64 hours a week. Has like 1 day off. And within that 1 day, I want him to go outside with us, like me, Sophie, and him. And I want us to have a family day. But he wants to stay home and spend time with us. But I don't want that. I want us to be outside. And I'm upset with him because we don't go outside and do activities as a family. Am I being reasonable or am I being a bad way?
So, the woman says that her husband works 2 jobs, has 1 day off, and he doesn't necessarily want to do family day. Is she selfish for wanting him to do that, or is he wrong for not extending grace over and doing family day?
Man, I think in marriage, coming from a single person, like compromise is a thing. And out of the whole year or something or other, she I understand you work a lot, but you can take some time off to have some family time. You can pick one day. If it's one day out of the if it's one day out of 365, you can spend some time with the fam.
No, she
Come
says
on.
one day out of the one day a week she want him to do family time. She
Okay,
doesn't work.
okay, well that's stupid because he gets one day off a week. That's dumb.
She
Exactly.
doesn't work,
That's dumb.
and he's working two jobs, and he works an extraordinary amount of hours every
He,
single.
he, he should probably be able to hit her up for once a month though. Like, hey, sweetheart, the second Tuesday of the month, we gonna go do some stuff. But yeah, man, you gotta compromise with these women. Like these women will say anything that they want, but when you don't meet certain needs of them, they out of here.
I have a different take, but I'm gonna hold off because I want to.
You be saying you don't be taking off, but you be low key playing in the streets and talking about working.
That's not true. Work for me is research and development, for example. Like I have,
I get it.
in order to be the person that I am, I have to experience it in real time. That's just the truth.
I think that they could come to an agreement where it's one or two of those off days a month that he's spending with the family. But I mean, that man is tired.
Yeah.
He deserves a day off to sit and stare at the wall if that's what he wants to do. But with that being said, you know that if you have a family, especially if you have children, there are no days off really. So I don't know. I'm like Quentin on this one. I think there should be some sort of compromise. And I get that he would be tired, especially if she's not working. Kind of on her.
I'm not.
Did she say what he does for work
She
at
didn't
some
say.
point?
I'm going to assume it's not a good job because he's got two of them instead of one good job.
I don't like where this conversation is going.
It just sucks, but like I'm speaking like across the board for most men. Like I get Mika said happy house, happy spouse, happy house, but you have to do stuff around your woman's emotions. Like you have to feed that stuff. Like over the totality. Stop looking at me like that, Molly.
Oh no, I'm listening.
You can't just leave your woman's emotions neglect. You can't neglect them. Like you gotta be uncomfortable and compromise and do something. Or you ain't gonna have no wife, you ain't gonna have no family. She's gonna be hanging out with Jorge at the zoo, nigga, while you at home on the couch.
I don't like where this conversation is going. Go ahead, Molly.
Like I get it. I don't want to be the simp or I understand men work and we need to do stuff. Like I work a lot. I take care of shit, but if a woman like I hung out with a woman and I did stuff outside of my norm because I felt this way about this woman.
But let's talk about it.
No, we're not talking about it. But you have to, like, for the people that you're into, this situation, married, the people you love, you gotta do some stuff that you don't want to do.
Molly?
I think once a month to go out and do something is reasonable, especially given that he works so much. But every single one of his days off, he has to go out, and then it's like I have so many questions. But if he's working so much, he really not thinking about y'all. Like he's trying to sleep. He's trying to rest. He has to recharge his battery so he can go back out there and do it again the next day. So every day off, go outside and do something. I think that's asking for too much. Once a month is okay, but that's about it. Unless he does something super easy for his jobs. I don't know. And then I just wonder how small the child is. Because if the child is like 2, that baby don't care. Unless you want to post something for Instagram or something.
That's true. Carrie?
I
Put me by
hear the
Carrie while she gets
words.
her soliloquy.
I hear the words compromise and understanding here. Because I think that everything, so like, okay, I think that there's a couple of factors here. If he's working 2 jobs and he's working that much, first of all, he can't do that for forever in my mind. So maybe this is a season of sorts, right? So I think that
But you can
she
though.
might have to do, I mean, you can, but I'm assuming because there's a lot we don't know here. I think that everything has to happen at different points in times. So it might be that she has to do a lot of the covering as it relates to the kid, the quality time, all of that right now, with the promise of things changing later. Now, at the same time, I think that the age of the kid matters because I don't think this is as much about the mom wife as it is the family, the collective. So, Molly, to your point, if the kid is like 2, then she, other than pictures and stuff, she's probably not going to remember so much of that as opposed to if she's 6 and now like daddy didn't even teach me how to ride a bike type thing. I do think that men sometimes do need to be reminded to stop and like smell the flowers. I hate to sound so cliche, but I do think that y'all need a reminder to enjoy what you're working for because it's real easy for many men to work themselves to death and not really be able to appreciate any of the family that they took care of. And I think that if you present it in that kind of a way, you can figure out how you can insert that where it makes sense. Because you can't do what you can't do. If you freaking tired, you need to lay down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's compromise and understanding.
All of me and my motorcycle buddies, we make normal livings. Like we all work a lot, but we be out. Summertime and it's bike season. Nah, nigga, fuck this work. We ain't did all this shit for nothing. Nigga, you bought a bike, nigga, they rode that bitch.
Yeah, but here's the dilemma though, Quentin. Let's say hypothetically you are in a relationship, right? And so I think that the argument that you're making is that y'all have time to do the stuff that y'all want to do, right?
Yes, and we take care of stuff we need to be taken care of, but
okay, but here's the flip side of it. What if you have to sacrifice your bike time for family time because the spare time that you then have to do the thing that you wanted to work for, that you do, is now allocated towards doing the stuff that they want to do because that's what they want to do on your days off.
My child's mother, when Miss Ava came, I told her I would sell my bike and for the family, and she goes, "Nope, I'm not gonna let you do that. Nope."
Yeah, you can look at it in the living room.
So I didn't. We were not together when my bike was in the living room, but
I think that men are stuck between the rock and a hard place that's ultimately in that position because they're underappreciated while at the same time, this is the thing that women say that they want. And I don't think that women know what they sign up for when they sign up for a guy that dedicates his life to working and putting people in a position and all of that stuff. And so he doesn't get any grace. She's still going to get all of the Mother's Day flowers and all of the accolades. And he's going to be talked to about what he's not doing because it's not enough hours in a day and it's not enough time to sleep and be able to work 2 jobs to over provide while at the same time meet the expectation of what it takes in order to fulfill her and family time. I think that those guys are stuck between a rock and a hard place forever.
But do you have to be? Are you that tired? Like I work a lot, and I'm not even when
you just said you play video games for 40 hours.
Well, okay, that's why I was gonna give some more context. Like back in the day, when I was younger and I used to do manual labor, I still had time to do stuff. I wasn't that that tired. I used to be on my feet all day, using my hands and all that stuff, and I wasn't that tired.
Because
Maybe it's
Yeah,
not
but
about, maybe
go ahead.
he's not tired. Maybe he just wants to be home because he's not home 70 hours
Fuck
out
y'all
of the
niggas.
week.
How y'all know I work from home?
Like
I don't
maybe
be
he
lying
just
to y'all
wants to be
niggas.
in his home. Like that's his safe spot. He's never there, apparently.
I'm
I
not gonna
don't
lie.
think that this
My dad's like that. Like I can't believe my stepmom. My dad don't do fucking shit. She want to go. She want to go on cruises. She want to fly about the country. And my dad's like, nigga, I ain't going nowhere. Nigga. Every time that nigga sitting in that damn recliner watching TBS.
I don't think that women of yesteryear, most of them, I don't think people were going out like that. Like when they went out, it was a special, like it was a big deal.
like find a babysitter, go out
Yeah,
Yeah, it
true.
wasn't
for
a
their anniversary kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a once or twice a week type of thing. It was more like a, oh man, he taking me out, type of situation.
But
So
that wasn't the. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I wasn't getting that that's what she was talking about. I was getting that she wanted them to do, because she said we would do stuff at home, but I want us to go outside. Like, so
He
I
said that
mentally
he
think of,
wants to do something at home with us, but we want
but
him
we
to
want
come
to go.
outside with us.
Right. So I don't think of like a date. I think of like, let's go to the park. That's what I got from her. More so like, let's go do something as a family outside of the house.
I don't.
I
Again,
think depending on his job, that could be a lot to ask for. So, like for me, I work around a lot of people. The first day I get home, I don't want to see a single soul.
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer my phone. I'm not going grocery shopping. Just like I want to be at home.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so
But
I can fully understand him wanting to be at home. And she didn't say he's neglecting me. He's neglecting the child. So there needs to be some grace extended there.
I think that her great. I think that she. I mean, again, we don't know, but she sounds like she is extending the grace, because it sounds like she's trying to figure out, is what I want, is this selfish? Like, it seems like she's doing it the way he wants to be doing it, which is at home, and she's trying to figure out if I can make space for what I want this to look like, and am I selfish? So to me, she doesn't want to like force it on him. So it doesn't sound to me like she's not giving grace, or she's not being grateful of what he provides. At the same time, it's like, okay, so is it that I can't have any want in this? I can't, hey babe, is there a possible way for us to do it this way at any point in time? I think it's unfair if she can't bring that to the table to him.
I think the fact that she took it to the internet says that she's not allowing him grace. That shouldn't even be something you should have to ask somebody else. Like if you're giving grace, I don't have to ask somebody like, oh, am I wrong for wanting this man to do something he clearly doesn't want to do? Like,
Yeah, I
I mean,
think that's asking for confirmation and not really. I think she knows what the answer is to her own question.
what do you think the answer is to the question?
I think that I don't think that there's a right answer. I think that it's situational and it's a lot that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if she got small kids. We don't know, it's a lot that goes into that. But I think that inherently she knows what her own situation is and how to address it, but she's looking for confirmation from people that's on the internet.
I get you.
I get it, but I get it, but I don't get it, because people don't be having people to talk to, and they need somebody to talk to.
Then go and get some friends and get some people to talk to then.
You say
you
what?
at home all day, take that baby out to the park and meet some more.
Well, everybody does.
But we can just say this in light of homie killing himself, the LSU football player. Like, niggas need people to talk to.
Okay, then go and talk to people.
Yeah.
Well,
The
maybe
internet ain't talking to people. That's like a delusion.
Well, okay.
I mean, some people do get their shit off on the internet, and it makes them like it's a
no.
It's a thing.
That's like a drug. No, people is just hooked on the internet.
Okay,
I'm not going. I'm
They
not.
feel lonelier now. We are able to talk to anybody across the globe now with
Yeah.
all this technology. Yet we are lonelier now than ever. It's the technology. We need to go outside and talk to people like humans. On
Organically.
the internet is not it because we are more lonely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, I'm in agreement that you shouldn't need to come to the internet
And no,
to
but we thankful for
get the conversation, to get the advice, the feedback that you would normally be able to go to somebody you trust, that you know, and all of that. Like I get that and I understand that and I agree with that. At the same time, there are many people who, for whatever the reason, either feel they don't have those people, really don't have those people, don't know that it's inappropriate to come on the internet or whatever. And I don't think that just because you come on the internet, that means that you are of a negative intention. That, like, I think she's really trying to, like, talk this thing out with whomever. So
this is why a lot of guys choose not to get married.
Uh-huh.
No, a lot of
Yeah.
guys choose not to get
Very
married
don't be
because
frustrated.
women are insufferable.
This is why a
I
lot of
make too
guys
many
choose. You're
excuses
right,
for
kid.
bad behavior. Like, how?
This is
Yeah.
why guys a lot of times choose not to get married. Because listen, we okay with working two jobs. We okay with doing whatever. Because I'm assuming that when you're the type of person that's a productive person, you be productive regardless. But we do it a lot of times for different reasons depending on the circumstance. Let's say, for example, you're a person that don't have any ties to anybody. You can do what the fuck you want on your day off. You can go to sleep, you can go party, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. But the reward is that I have the freedom to do what I want to do. The other side of it is that I'm doing this so that you can take my resources, so that you can spend it, so that you can be happy. And I got to go over here and do some extra shit while probably hearing this for the first time on the internet while you talking to strangers. It's like, wait a minute. So I'm doing this shit for who? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing it for you, it's different. I can do what I want to do. I make the reward. But if I got to do it so that you can feel fulfilled, or if we really just want to be real, so that the nigga can get some pussy 2 or 3 times a week, I'm not really sure that it's worth the price of admission. That's at least what a lot of guys would say, right?
Women are confusing.
Gary, why you want to say, oh, Anton? I didn't even say nothing crazy.
What did I say?
When I said that this is why a lot of guys don't want to get married, and you was like, oh, Anton.
Oh, because of how you connect dots. Y'all, you be connect. You go to that, and Molly goes to child support and TBI.
What,
That's
what
not
did I
good.
say?
Y'all connect everything.
Everything to the same. I agree.
What
I
did I
would.
say that was so off though?
I think there's a lot of reasons why
I
men
think that
are
that's why men
staying
are.
single.
Yeah, I don't think that it's because somebody will come on and say, like, I don't know, and whatever.
What did I say that was off?
You can
I
just
don't know.
be
It's not off. It's just it's
pick
it's
another
like,
reason.
can is there any, we just talked about grace, right? Is there any space for grace for people, or some level of understanding, without the assumption being that you're condoning, excusing, promoting? Like, it just seems like we are so judgy and so, like,
Okay,
you don't do it like
I
this.
love you,
Da, da,
Carrie.
da,
We
da, da.
can't say that. I'm the kind of, we judge, we don't condemn.
We don't condemn. We are condemning. And I'm not
Judging
just talking
keeps
about
you
us. I'm talking
safe.
about the chat too. I'm talking about the chat too. Huh?
I said judging keeps you safe.
I mean, I'm just putting myself like if I
No.
had to work as a family person almost 70 hours a week, and the one day I have off, you are nagging me to go outside when we could probably do the same thing in here and it'll probably cost less.
Molly, do you see
that
how
That's
you
just
just
where
added all
my
that
brain
color to the
is.
story? Okay,
I'm
but
just
okay. Do you see the color you just added to the
because I know
story?
there are women who will put in work like that and then come home and have to do all this XYZ as well. So I'm just trying to give grace to the fact that he's a human being. You know what I'm saying? He's already overworking himself. And then he has to do, and then it's like how many days out of the week? Every off day we have to go outside.
But you just said nagging. How do we know how do we know that she didn't ask him and he was like, babe, I really don't want to go out. Like, I don't feel
Because
like it. And
it's
then,
a
and
thing, which means she's asking a lot because it's a thing and she's asking the internet. So this isn't like a one time or hey, can we just like once a month plan this outing? This is obviously a thing for them. This is
A point of
well, or
contention.
she went to
well,
the
or it's
internet over
something
it
that has, again, I would not go to the internet like she did. I claim it. I would not do it. At the same time, what if she brought it to him and he said nah, right? He said nah. But she's like, okay, ever? Like, so we can never do this? And he's like, babe, not now. And so he keeps putting it on the back burner and she doesn't want to nag, but she still wants to figure this out.
You can't go outside with
So what?
anybody else.
It's the kid's
I mean, I
father.
know it's his father, but like if going outside is the main point, because y'all could spend time. If you
It
want him
is
to be with the
because she
father,
said he does stuff in the house. So going outside is her main point.
And I might want to take you out more if you put more effort into yourself when I got home to you. I'm just gonna say the uncomfortable part out
We
loud.
don't know what she
The
looks
fuck
like.
is
We
what?
don't know
Listen,
what he looked like.
it doesn't matter. The nigga works
It do
7
matter.
hours a
This whole
week.
listen, this whole notion of women stay in shape and men get fat, y'all need to let that go.
Hold on.
Y'all need to let that
Listen,
go.
the one to
Hey,
one
now,
is
Y'all
the
need to
my
man.
let
man
that
volume
go.
Oh
starting to drop.
no.
That
The
is not
one to one
health
is
should be
not.
important to
The
everybody.
one to one has not. You got a bad one to one. The one to one is that the man get richer and the woman stays beautiful.
Okay, and then he dies from a heart attack, or he
No, you
dies from a
And then he
add,
gets
stroke, or
his
he
money.
add shit
dies
in there.
from huh?
The one to one is that the man get to the bag and that he has
Nah,
something
nigga, I
nice
got
to come
gorilla
home
titties,
to.
nigga. Fuck
So wait a
you.
minute. So you telling me that a dude could work 60, 70 hours, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and I just gotta come home to anything?
No, that's
and a
What,
not.
what,
crying
what do I
kid.
no. If a
And
man
to see Molly adding the color and a crying
if
kid.
a man works 60, 70 hours a week and you don't have a job, which means that you have no worries, you have no 40, 50, 60 hours have to work to contribute, everything is taken care of. You telling me at the minimum that I should not expect for you to at least be well put together?
I think you absolutely should expect that. That is her job at
I
that
don't
point,
know.
in
They
my
might
opinion.
have met like that. She might have looked like that when they
It
met. For
doesn't
him, that
matter.
Well,
might be put together. So
I'm
if you
getting
know,
richer.
if you met her
So if I'm
plump,
getting richer and you getting fatter, you telling me that makes sense?
what if you're getting richer and fatter too, though?
But at the same time, it's a reason why I'm getting fatter because I'm getting richer.
No, that's not an excuse because there's plenty of
It
but
people
it
is.
who are
kind
getting
of
richer
is.
who are not getting fatter.
No,
Yeah, there
Carrie,
are people, but if this
Carrie.
man
You
is
know what
working
Carrie is doing?
80 hours a
Carrie is
week, when does he have time to go to the
taking a
gym?
responsibility away from the woman for getting bigger. The point that I'm making is that
I'm waiting for the F word.
if you don't have to work at all,
If you don't have to earn a living, let's be clear, because raising children is work.
Right.
Stop it.
That's your job.
Stop it.
Part of your job, if you don't have a job outside of the home, is keeping
Is
yourself
to
up, keeping the house up, keeping the kids up.
What is keeping
so
yourself up? And
keeping the
does that
kids.
mean you have to work? What does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
Your
okay,
hair
wait,
should
wait,
be
wait.
Like,
combed every
Think
when
about
I
this
come
for a
home,
minute.
what am I coming
Think
home
about
to?
this for a minute. If he's working 10 and 12 hours a day, and then because it's not like he don't see things and he don't see women on his way home and in his interactions throughout the day, and he has to come home to somebody that's not even giving their best effort
What does that mean? Like, what does she look like besides not being fat?
I
What
ain't
is
talking
it?
about her. I ain't talking about her. I want to say in general. You saying that shouldn't be a reasonable expectation at minimum?
Well, can you answer Quentin's question? What do you mean by like what does that mean?
That means that you you work out and you look good when I get home.
Okay.
And you keep your
see a problem
calories
with that.
down that you consume.
You
So,
keep your calories down.
Yeah,
Quentin
and
and I have talked about
you have a caloric deficit.
Okay.
So you're not getting that.
Okay.
So Quentin,
I'm just trying to
we've
understand
talked
how
about
the
this.
woman is able and should do this, which I like. You're basically describing a healthy lifestyle. So I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to understand how the
And that you
woman
look good when I
with
get home.
kids, fine. Okay. I'm trying to understand how that is like the responsibility of the woman, but it's not of the man as well. Like, do y'all? I'm just trying to
I don't
know
know. So
why
do you
Men
keep
aren't
home?
supposed to be the pretty ones of the species.
I'm not talking about
Okay,
pretty.
so
I'm talking
nobody is
about taking. I'm talking about what he said. Like, take care of yourself, putting in your best effort. So I'm just trying to understand
I'm not
why
absolving
don't
the man, but I
men?
think that he deserves a little bit more grace because I personally believe that the priority, okay, so I only put one priority on you, right? Look good, look decent, take care of yourself. And you're putting multiple priorities. Now, I'm not saying that the guy shouldn't put effort forward, but his number one priority should be making sure that y'all taking care of financially.
And her number one priority should be taking care of the kids and the house
and him. So if I'm at
and
home
him.
taking care
Okay,
of
so
my
that's three
man,
things.
but look, if I'm at home taking care of my man, he can't get fat off of food because I'm cooking all the meals. They're all fresh. And I'm doing this the way that it should be done. So, Quentin, you asked what you're coming home to. You're coming home to meet showered and looking nice, a clean house, clean children, and a hot meal. That's what I'm here for.
Handsome
If
here.
you're taking care of everything else for me financially,
Throw that in
it's
there.
my job to take care of everything else, outside of that. Like that's why I'm here. Otherwise, what am I here for? And so like this man, he doesn't have time to necessarily go to the gym the way that he did when he was single or something like that. But at the same time, I can help him out and make sure that his meals are healthy and proportionate and things of
So
that.
let me ask this question, Carrie. Are y'all really that busy all day, every day? All day, every day.
Everybody about to get offended.
Without no. Are women
slips
really
in detention.
women in general? I'm saying women in general. Are women in general genuinely that busy all day, every day?
Yeah, some of these
Or
motherfuckers
if a man
older than
is
they
working
is.
10, 12 hours a day, that she has no capacity to make sure that she's okay. And
Well,
Very busy all
obviously,
day.
obviously that depends on the circumstances. How many kids? If the kids are at home, if the kids are away, how old are the kids?
let's say
Blah
that
blah
they
blah
got
blah
two
blah.
kids. Let's say they got two kids. And
Where are the kids?
the kids are 7 and 9.
Okay, where do
No,
they go?
no, she's not busy.
Do they go to school?
Yeah, they 7 and 9.
Oh,
They could be
listen.
homeschooled.
Okay.
Come on, don't play that.
If you have hours to yourself in your house, then yeah.
Yeah, what? They busy? Or
No, I'm sorry. Then no, they're not. They have the space to be able to do certain things. They're not that busy.
So then that
during
means
those
that you
hours.
agree with me that we need to remove because listen, if you're gonna be frumpy, you might as well just go to work.
Well, I don't understand. I personally, I agree with you. Like I don't understand.
If we gonna look the same way when I get home from work, then you might as well go to work.
And then it's like if you're at home all day next to a shower and some hygiene products and a brush and a flat iron, no excuses.
If we gonna
right,
both
whatever,
be dusty
so
when I get home, then you might as well go ahead and put in your 40 to 52.
maybe I'm telling more of my own business then, because I don't have.
So, Carrie, generally, are you like all made up when your
for
husband's
myself.
around, Carrie?
What'd you say?
Are you like all made up? Is this naturally you're like, you don't really have on nothing right now, right? On your face? in your
a little
hair.
bit of concealer and
But for the most part, this is
mascara.
you day to day.
This is me day to day. Well, it depends. It really does depend.
Well, you don't have to talk about your
I want to see what
personality.
Carrie look like with a face
But
full of makeup.
But let's
You
be
don't have
honest,
to
some
talk
women
about
don't
your
have to try as
but
personality.
hard.
in general, like, yeah, I mean, calm my hair down or do my hair, put on, like, get dressed. Now I'm not decked out. I'm putting on 9 times out of 10 some leggings, some sweatpants, a t-shirt. Like, I'm putting on my mommy my mommy movement outfit.
But mommies be looking fine out here in these streets, though.
For my husband, like, his biggest thing, he likes when my hair is down. So, that's a big thing. But other than that,
I'm not even talking about Carrie in general. I'm saying women in general. If he come home and it's like big bag, I would imagine that it's very difficult for him to be motivated to go and work 60 or something like that.
I do not want Carrie.
I 100% hear what you're saying, and I think that I hear what you're saying. God, I hate when I have to change my perspective.
Because let me tell you something. The minute that a nigga start coming up short on the money, it's been like the women say, I could do bad all by my damn self.
Okay, yeah, okay. Women, I'm sorry. I think I have more empathy for if you, because I'm speaking from a homeschooling, stay at home with 4 children mother's perspective, where it is very difficult to find time.
Take yourself out of it.
Having said that, if I were a stay-at-home mom and my kids went to school for like 6 hours, yeah, I probably would be Buffy the Body.
I say this. I think that
I think you could do it at home, Carrie.
I think that
I work out at home, but
it's some sacrifices. But
I think that a man's productivity should be directly tied to the effort that his wife puts in the way that she carries herself. I think if she's rocking out with a 4 body, then I think that you should only work 26 hours a week. I think you should only have to work 26 hours a week if she want to put in.
So y'all can just be homeless together.
Yeah, I think that you should go to 40 hours a week if she's gonna put minimal effort. And for a woman that is dedicating herself and giving you all of the great things that comes with her, I think it's okay to work a lot of overtime and to be grinding because listen, you motivated now. I think that your productivity should be directly tied to the quality of the woman that you coming home to.
I think that's probably another conversation that we don't have enough time to deal with tonight.
We're going to wrap this up for Carrie. I already went over.
No, that was Quentin.
I'm good to go. I don't have to work tomorrow. So
no, go ahead.
But just like what women are willing to put up with for a man that's going to take care of them.
You say that again?
What women are willing to like put up with, like deal with, like.
Well, that is a whole nother. I could add that for Thursday.
I think women want a whole lot of shit and ain't willing to put up with a whole lot of shit.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
I digress.
I'm with that. We can talk about that on Thursday. I got a perfect start off video for that too. Right in the archives. Yep. That's my new thing. So, wait a minute. Let me see your girl.
Well, we need to be on point on Thursdays because I got to work on Friday.
I'm gonna be on point.
We can go longer.
I went from 4 hours to 2:30. So we're gonna be on it.
See, this is some backwards ass shit. You always go short on the nights a nigga ain't got to go to work the next day.
I'm not gonna go short. I'm just gonna be more. I'm gonna be more efficient with my topics and moving the conversation along, and I'm gonna be better every single time.
It's easier when you have less people too.
So, yep.
And less screamers.
So if you only make $14 an hour,
facts,
then I think that you should get a $14 an hour check.
I think that's usually how it works.
That's so rude because I make $14 an hour and I got some bad chicks in my life.
Go get you a Kia woman.
I'm with it. Let me read the super chats.
That's so rude. I hate y'all. Like I'm down. I'm an advocate. Like $14 an hour. That's my jam. I make about $15.50 an hour.
$14 an hour and 26 hours a week. I'm with it.
And then you date your wage.
Yep, I'm with it.
That's so dumb. Can you read the super chats?
I mean, if that's all you can afford is junk food, so she's gonna be a big girl.
Facts.
Speaking of super chats, did y'all had like 30 minutes of super chats yesterday?
Twice.
Yeah, it was well over.
I was like, dang.
It'd be well over 300 super chats.
I was really impressed with Q attempting to read my super chats yesterday.
Yeah, she worked through that shit, didn't she?
Not the first one, she didn't.
You set her up like a motherfucker too. It probably was well over 300. Well over.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Lasher Deviants Gaming said that's not unreasonable. We have a family. If you don't spend time with them, why have a family if you don't spend time with them? Happy spouse, happy house, says Mika. What up, Mika? What up, though? Me University says 35, clearance 40, outlet. I like
that. Kevin Samuels' channel just posted that the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. High Tolerance says she might be the reason as to why he's gone. Is peace and refuge might be his job. That's facts. I know a lot of guys that actually do that. Have any of you been to Compton? Nope, Jason, I have not. I don't know if anybody else has.
What difference does that make?
Yeah. Me University says only man can do all that. Carrie is a contract killer. All right. Victor Williams says, Carrie, kids don't require minute by minute care. There's so much downtime between dealing with kids that there's no excuse not to get things done.
Not 4 of them.
I don't know what that insane what.
And it depends on their age.
Well, and I didn't say minute to minute care.
Because when you got toddlers, you gotta look at them motherfuckers every second of the fucking day.
Exactly. If something happens, people are like, "Why weren't you paying attention?"
Them niggas jump off the damn fireplace head first, nigga, into the couch.
AI says, true story. I worked one job 5 days a week, 16 an hour. Second job 3 days a week, 17 an hour. One day I'll work 19 hours straight. Now I own 4 units. Keep grinding. Shout out to you, AI. I appreciate you, big dog. All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Of video games.
Any final thoughts?
All my final
Go
thoughts.
outside with your kids.
Go
outside and get some sunlight with your kids.
Especially if you're the wife and the husband is working all day. Get yourself out there and run a little bit so your thighs can be nice.
And don't be gay.
Yes, do not explore your sexuality.
Why are you gay?
All right,
I ain't gay no more.
Shout out to Nasty Stu. Nasty Stu says, as a truck driver, I work 70 hours a week for 3 months straight. When I come home, I only have 34 hours to reset before I'm back on the road. Last thing I want to do is go outside. See that? Shout out to Nasty
Yeah, but is he working 70 hours a week for 52? See, he said for 3 months straight, right? So I'm assuming that means after 3 months, it's not like that for forever. Maybe he has a break, then he does it again. That's why I said the understanding part. So it might be, I can't do that during this stretch, and you know it. But in June or in August, I got you. Like, what's wrong with that?
She didn't say that.
Well, listen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to tune in. Courtesy of HR, I will be making these subjects more efficient. And I will have conversations so that people can get adequate sleep. We love you. We appreciate y'all. We are out. Peace.
Bye.